Alright, stream seems to be working correctly on that side of things. That's on the correct window, and why can't I see? There we go. Good job, YouTube. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and ignore whatever the hell's going on in public chat right now, and have a quick peek at the invocations, because they're probably not going to change until I get a purple, and even then, we'll see. Really need to learn Insanity someday. So, softcore run, I could jump that right up to hardcore run, and it really wouldn't change anything. It would just be free 10 points. Realistically, that's what I should do, is drop walk for it and take hardcore run. I've typically been getting walk for it, but if I don't, it just feels like a bit of a waste. But at the same time, it probably scales the enemy's HP high enough that I get extra points even if I were to lose the 10 points. I'm leaving it alone. It's a 315. It's got... We'll go bottom to top just for the fun of it. Everything but Insanity for Akka, everything but Boulder Dash for the Baba fight, everything but Double Trouble and Keep Back, everything but, well, everything for the Crocodile, everything but Medic and more Overlords, and then the rest of it's just on a diet, Deadly Prayers, Walk the Path, Need Some Help, Walk for it, Softcore Run. We'll knock out some pre-pots here, and I guess I could probably send a Discord notification, oops. Yeah, whatever, they'll figure it out. Who am I kidding? No, they won't. 2 seconds. Alright, now that all of my windows are all completely messed up, let's go ahead and run some Toa. Nice. Oops. If you can manage to stay just far enough away from the first shaman, it usually doesn't have time to summon anything. And that ranger got stuck. Come on now. Can't get to the acid one. Oh, no, he's coming around. So now we need Piety on. And then move. Perfect. Okay, that just didn't shoot. That's fine. Alright, that was actually pretty good for me. Oh, that wasn't. Oh, that wasn't. Okay, unnecessary damage. That's fine. Ah, crap. Didn't see the exploder coming in, and why did I... What? Oh. Okay, I need to do something that I've been putting off, and I haven't had a legitimate reason to put this off, but I'm going to... This is already... I'm accepting that this is going to be a failed raid. Because I need to true tile mark the exploding arseholes. And I've just been putting it off, so the first ones that spawn, I'm just gonna do my best to tag them as soon as I can. Oh, come on. Okay, well, not that one, clearly. Oh, right, I'm not oceaned now. That's great. And I never did that. Okay, so as I say, I'm not worrying at all about this. I'm just trying to get to being able to mark the exploders so that doesn't happen again, basically. Okay. Might actually end up dying a second time in here trying to... Oh, there's one. We need to tag all volatile baboons. And then can I go tag style true tile? I don't know if that'll actually have worked. But the next time that one spawns, we'll know. I'd like to probably recolor those as well. Oh good, I can't even one-shot these without potions. Okay, so those are staying that color. These, however, I want to swap that to green. And I'm just gonna probably end up dead here in a second, so whoops, wasn't really paying attention to anything else. See if we can get another exploder to spawn just so I can see if my tags are correct. Don't even care that I'm taking damage here. Don't love those being green. Okay, so that did not work correctly. I need that to be red. Actually, I would have preferred that to be purple, but either way, we've got that tag now at least somewhat. So these guys I'm going to switch to pick a color, and I'm going to tag them with white, if it lets me. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to let these guys kill me one more time. I'm gonna see if I can get a true tile, and if I die in this room though, I'm gonna... Okay, so I'm actually gonna go out and back in. But I want the exploders to be tagged right. This has been something that's been bothering me for a long time. I don't know if there's a way to modify the tag on an enemy when you're not actually presently... Not even gonna pre-pod. I'm just gonna walk in with whatever invocations I've got on. I could technically just put it to a super low invo to do this, but it doesn't even matter. It'd just be a waste to pre-pod, because as I say, I'm just completely kamikazeing this room in order to tag things correctly this time, so it's been driving me nuts. I want the exploders to be purple, because that's the only other tag color that I've got that's, like, readily available right there that I don't have to go through menus for. I like that the poison ones are white now, but I do want the true tile if I can get it. And everything is going to take more damage to kill because we don't have potions. Can I one-shot that? Oh, I can. Okay. And I'm not usually mage buffed anyway, so these will be fine. That one right there, I want to try and avoid blowing him up until... No, he's already blown up. Shit. Oh, I'm not on what I thought I was on. Oops. Okay. That was... Oh, that was a... Yeah, see, that's why I want to recolor those, because I didn't realize that was a melee... That wasn't a melee one, excuse me. Okay, I can't one-shot these even with this, so this is not going great. Shit. That's all I need to do is tag those, and I keep missing it. It's fine, I can still go back in and die one more time if I need to. Those are all melees. Drink one sip of that just to keep my prayer up. Get rid of you, don't get dragged. Throw that on. Is that... No, that's a brawler. Damn it. Oh, that's gonna be bad. True to... fuck. No, I'm gonna die for this, but tag color... Pick color... I don't know, mauve? Sure, we'll see if that actually works. I want them, like, violet. I don't know why this color wasn't an option that time, but... I'm just gonna hope that actually worked. This is just gonna be some BS until I can get this done. If there's a better way to do this that anyone's aware of, by the way, I would love to know. Because as far as I know, unless there's an enemy on screen and actively there, you can't modify those tag settings. Which has led to a few different frustrating situations for me. I imagine there's gotta be some kind of a way to maybe like save it or something, or like modify it, but I don't know what that would be. Alright, so there's one right there. We're just going to run and avoid that one entirely. While I do that. And volatile baboon, tag style, true tile. There we go. Okay. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted. I can leave this raid now. I can literally just turn off my prayers, let them end me. Because I think if I leave this barrier, it leaves the raid. I'm not actually sure. And we can set up to actually do this correctly. I can speed this up, actually. I can just stand on this. Oh, well, it beat me to it by one tile. Alright, now that I've got the baboons tagged the way that I've wanted to, and I'm not just going to end up having some gigantic issue that runs me into the ground for no reason, let's try again. There's also the other reason that I don't run hardcore, because occasionally I find things that I just need to fail a raid just to fix for the future, so... I can no longer blame any future deaths on what just happened. Anyway, let's get started with the 315s. I've been excited to get back to doing this and see if I can pull a purple out of it. How you doing, Neptune? Been a little while. Welcome to Raids 3 in RuneScape. I feel like you were a Hypixel Skyblock player, so I'm not actually sure if you played this game or not, but... seems to be all the rage nowadays to give up on other MMOs for this one, so... why not? See, like, how much better is that? Now that I can tell exactly where the exploder is, if it stopped moving, just zero bullshit mode comparatively. That's so much better. Been a while indeed, been busy playing games till recently. Fair enough. What's been recently? Okay, don't explode there. Uh-oh. Okay, that got a little bit hectic, but that's okay. I grab this. Nice. Sorry, I've got to kind of focus on a shit ton of stuff going on in this room all at once, so bear with me if I'm a little slow on the replies. Okay. There we go. Uh-oh. Ah, I don't have prayers on. Shit. Okay, hopefully that takes out some of those. Probably won't because of the way that I ran, though. Alright, that got rid of one of the melees, so that's handy. So that means the next wave is probably going to spawn, or is there another wave? Can't tell if I'm all the way through this or not. It looks like I might be, so I'm going to grab the blowpipe. There it is. Thought I had a few more of these to kill, but we're good. That should be the end of the room. Alright. Yeah, the monkey room gets a little bit hectic if you don't keep kind of high pressure on the shamans that summon more monkeys. But I actually have 118 HP coming out of that room, so that means that I didn't take any unnecessary damage there. And 2 doses of restore brought me to exactly full prayer, so you can't really ask for much more than that. Now, coming into here... Yeah, that's not a good sign. I don't know why I just hit the world map instead of the spec orb. I might be a little bit drain damage today. Okay, so I'm coming into here, I'm summoning a throw, I'm turning on my prayers, I'm hopefully landing the spec. Yeah, buddy, a full max hit of a 68 on that one. So that was actually a really important attack to land. If you're unfamiliar with how this game works, the, oh shit. Oh, that's gonna hit me with a... Okay, never mind. Had a little moment there that I was dancing with him by accident. The way that the Bandos Godsword works, the special attack from it can lower the opponent's defenses. And it lowers them by the amount of damage that it actually dealt. I'm gonna take out 1 of these for right now, because that's gonna be a problem if I don't. And because I max hit, that means that this thing's defense is reduced as much as possible, which means that it's unlikely that my attacks will miss, we'll put it that way. It's a little slow on that swap, but I wanted to move the BGS, and I don't mind doing 3 boulders for the skip here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, that isn't the side I want to be on, though, so I'm going to shoot him for 5. There we go. Yeah, if you don't really know what you're doing with building a PC, that isn't a terrible way to go. Call it like insurance money, basically. It's probably still a lot cheaper to have somebody build you a PC out of parts that you own and or have purchased than to buy a pre-built. By a pretty decent margin anyway. Plus then you know what you're getting a little bit better. I remember my dad years ago just would not let this go, that he was convinced that a computer repair shop had stolen RAM from him. Now, this is not a person who knows really anything about computers, you gotta understand, right? So, and this is in a time of probably about Windows 7, maybe? It is definitely pre-Windows 10. So, he's got a computer that has 4 gigs of RAM in it. And he goes to the store and tries to have them fix it because he's basically just been looking at things that you shouldn't probably be looking at when you don't know how viruses work on a computer. So I was kind of making fun of him a little bit for it, but he gets it back and he looks inside the computer and is convinced that it had 2 sticks of RAM. He didn't know what RAM was, he didn't know how much of it his computer actually had, he just knew that there were 2 sticks in it. Now, I don't know if there were or not. Maybe he had 2 2GB sticks of RAM, maybe he had 1 4 gig stick of RAM, but they brought his non-functional computer in, fixed it very cheap for him, gave it back to him, and it still had, from what I could tell, the same specs that when he bought it, that it had. So, what I had suspected had happened was that he probably had very old, just cheap, crappy, garbage, faulty RAM. And they probably went, okay, well he has 2 2 gig sticks of RAM, a 4 gig stick is like, you know, cheap RAM is like 10, 20 bucks for a 4 gig stick, you know, it's nothing. So they probably just swapped it, billed them like 40 bucks for the repair or whatever, and that was their end of it, but for years. And I mean, this has gotta be over a decade ago now, and I still hear this story every once in a while about how the computer store ripped him off for his RAM. Not that I think anyone's going to rip you off for your components, so it reminded me of that story when I said at least you'll know what you have. That man in computers, though, my god. I remember one time I was over at his place, and I don't remember what it was that got us talking about his computer, but he said, oh yeah, no, it stopped working about a month ago. And he was convinced, this is a person who barely knows the names of the components, let alone what they do. But he was convinced that everything was totally fine, the motherboard was fine, everything was fine, but the power supply must be the issue because, and this is his reason, an electrical arc shot out the back of the computer the other day when he powered it on, or maybe when he was moving it, I don't recall exactly. And he had it sitting on like a metal shelf, that like a, you know, something he'd put in like a bathroom or something like that, like an unfinished steel shelf kind of thing. And apparently actual visible electricity arced out the back of the computer, and now it won't turn on. And this is like a decade ago, so. And he was convinced that that meant that the only part of it that was problematic was, you know, it must be the power supply. It couldn't have possibly damaged any other component of the computer when goddamn lightning shot out the back. So, you know, don't do that. I don't have a where I'm going with this story, just, you know, don't be that guy. There goes my thrall. Okay. I was gonna say, are we getting... Oh, okay, I max hit, but I didn't have my prayers on. That's fine. 34 is still 34. Okay, weapons, cape, and we're good. So, I don't know what kind of CPU you've got, but 60 Celsius is warm. Don't get me wrong, it's not nothing, but it's not a temperature that should be damaging to a CPU. To give you some context, I used to own what was called the bulldozer architecture from Ryzen. It was like the FX 6350 or something 50 anyway. I think it was like a 6550, it doesn't matter. But it was the bulldozer architecture, and it was what basically immediately preceded their Ryzen architecture. And it was not good. In fairness, I did not well care for that computer, and I built it as cheaply as I was reasonably able to at the time. But after a couple of years of using it, like 2-3 years of using it, maybe a little more, it got to a point where it would basically just overheat by turning the computer on. The problem though is that when I say overheat, usually a computer would overheat at like 80 plus degrees Celsius to thermal throttle itself. The temperature reading anytime it got over 70 degrees would just turn the computer off. But that was basically its idle temp, so... Oh, what am I doing? So I don't know. 60 should be fine, is what I'm saying. Even the crappiest CPU I've ever owned, basically, wouldn't have melted for another 10 degrees. So you're probably fine. 60C on idle. Never mind, you're in the same situation I was in. Sorry, my replies might be a little bit skewed here, because I'm trying to, fight a fairly easy boss, in fairness, but I just don't like screwing this one up. Have you played old school RuneScape, or no? I just don't want to be super redundant if I start explaining a situation that I'm handling here on the screen if it's, you know, you're well aware. You have not. Well, if you have any interest, this is what some of the more endgame content looks like. I've got F keys that can switch through all these different menus here as fast as I really feel like clicking the buttons. I've currently got F4 bound to my prayers menu, and prayers basically are sort of your reactionary option to taking damage for the most part. Some of them do increase the damage that you deal though. So you see I've got an arrow above my head that sort of looks like a bow and arrow type of arrow. And all the little bugs that are around the room here, these agile scarabs, trying to right-click on one. All these little level 53 agile scarabs have a range attack that, if I didn't have 4.5 minutes of anti-poison up still, could poison me, and it doesn't do a lot of damage, but if I take that prayer off, instead of hitting always zeros, you'll see that it'll start hitting a little bit of damage. Maybe. They really don't hit a lot, and I've got high defense, it's just there's a 1, you know. Eventually they'll chip you down, but we're at the end of the fight anyway here. It's gonna crap on me. I'm fighting a giant dung beetle if you hadn't noticed. It's sitting on a giant orb of poop and shooting fireballs at me out of the sky. There we go. But yeah, a lot of this game can be as AFKable as clicking once every few minutes. Or as high APM as sort of what you're seeing here. Now, this is problematic, and this is why I don't love taking the 66% supplies thing. I guess I'm gonna have to choose power with 1 salt, which is really crappy because I'm coming into akka first, and then, yeah, okay. That's not great. I'm gonna salt for akka. Krondus, we have what we have, it'll just be what it is. You know what the worst feeling I've ever experienced from moving from one kind of computer to another is? It isn't even laptop to desktop. It's trying to use any computer that only has 1 monitor now. I've gotten so used to a multi-monitor setup that I feel like I keep trying to drag things to a screen that isn't there on other people's computers if they only have 1 setup. It drives me nuts. Like, I would like to have 3, I just only have 2 right now because I don't really know where the hell I would put the 3rd one with this setup. I've changed my computer setup around completely from how it used to be, so it's... I'm still kind of getting used to it. And yeah, laptop keyboards, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Something about the angle that they're on really bothers me. Even at the yeah. That's what I mean. I could handle a laptop, but I would feel like I would have to plug a 2nd monitor in. Alright, so the way this raid works is that you come in, each boss has a little puzzle room before it, like that thing that I just dealt with there. And then you've got to fight the actual boss itself. In this case, this one is named Akka. And it can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but thankfully they did actually make this a lot easier lately. It used to be that Akka would pray against 2 different damage styles at a time. And it only switches after a certain number of attacks that it lands on you. But they made it so that it only prays against 1, which is a lot more forgiving. I'm gonna switch to melee gear here just because I can, even though I misclicked 2 of those, that's fine. This is a level 2 Akka, so I have to remember that the color puzzle in the center is going to be 5. And if I don't kill this shadow before this little timer goes all the way up to full, then, well, bad things happen, let's put it that way. So we got the center one, red, white, yellow, white, yellow. But yeah, I don't know. I like RuneScape a lot more than a lot of other MMOs these days. It can be as panicked as you want it to be, depending on what kind of content you want to do. If you want to go do a farm run, grow some potatoes or something, go do it. You want to do something sort of middle of the road APM, you can do some Toa, or if you want to be really sweaty, you can go and solo some like Tombs of Amascut, or some Chambers of Zebak or something. Why is that a fun fact? That doesn't sound overly fun. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. Yeah, it sounds like a bit of a fair weather friend situation. That can be kind of frustrating, but the older that I get, the more of that sort of situation I seem to encounter. That is just a dick move on Akka's part there. So you'll see that my character has sort of got like a shadow kind of a cast around him. If I move while that's like that, then I'll take a bunch of damage. Not necessarily, I guess, because like I could theoretically just dodge it by walking 2 squares at a time, but I never remember to, so. Okay, all around and then ending on yellow. Beauty. So we're gonna resummon the Thrall. Gotta be a little bit cautious with this fight because I only have 1 salt, so I've got to make my supplies last a little bit differently this time than what I'm used to. Should be able to take him down to 20% here without issue. Yep, there it is. Attacking the wrong thing. There we go. Same deal if I had a move there, it just would have hit me. 3, shoot. Alright. Yellow, white, yellow, black, red. Really hoping that I get double ambrosia from the life one. That'd make this a lot better. But I'm gonna Kara spec as soon as I take him down here, which should be just in a couple of seconds. So Kara spec. And then Thrall. And then 1 more. Alright, there we go. Oh shit. So, RuneScape is a game where it really might not look especially difficult, but if you mess up a little thing in this raid, it can be very punishing. Those things hit about 30 damage each. And if you get comboed by 3 or 4 of them, especially, it's kind of a game over situation. You know, I wasn't actually sure if I got full spec energy at the end of a room until right now or not. So it's interesting to see that I do. Trying to think how I'm going to use this salt. I basically just, if I die at oh. Okay, no idea why I didn't take damage there, but I'm not arguing with game logic when it's in my favor. If I do end up dying here, then it's probably going to be a raid wipe. Because that would mean I would need to be unsalted for a lot of the rest of the raid. And while that's technically possible... Wait, why did I take damage? I feel like I need to go down the bottom row of this. I don't even know. Doesn't matter. I took damage on the way there, not the way back. We're still over max HP. I'm very happy about that, and I'm going to go ahead and get my biggest of god swords and go and say hello to this crocodile. Okay, a 3. It was bound to low hit eventually. And a 0. That's unfortunate. No, wasn't watching. Okay, so we have an absolute ass ton of freight pots, but I'm probably going to end up having to just sort of carry the salt on through the pillar phase. Just thinking of when I want to use the second dose of salt up. I'm not really sure. guess it just depends on when I want to use my yellow potions. If I'm gonna end up having to... God damn it. During the waves, this thing's just trying to kill me at this point. That was miserable. %60%. Chugging along. There goes the end of the salt. Didn't even bother to try against the magic attack there. Oops. Just about a full defense zebak, and we're still shredding it pretty good. I feel like I can just push and shoot. Please? Okay, that got something. Can I... No, that's gonna poison me. Shit. That's fine. Oh good, I just poisoned myself again, didn't I? Wait, I didn't? Okay, I guess that gives me poison immunity for a little bit and I didn't realize it. Fantastic. Alright, just me and zebak. And all of these goddamn red orbs now. Great. Not a dick move at all. Nice, that dodges the blood magic. Alright. A little bit of a panic raid supplies-wise here, but we should be okay. And go ahead and do that. Beautiful. Okay, so we got 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm not going to need these. Come on, big hits. Or double zeros. Don't do 3. Okay, good enough. 72 HP. I'm usually at 69, but that's okay. Wow, well, that's a little quicker than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to have to tank the first set of these one way or another. I have 4 ambrosias, so I don't really need to worry about actually doing the thing I was about to do. I was thinking I was just gonna Kara-spec this, but like, why would I? Because then it's just gonna take longer to get through the next phase. What I might do is Kara-spec the second one, because it looks like it's definitely gonna end up hitting me. We've gotten such low rolls on these damage numbers, it's a little embarrassing. Now we're doing 47s now that I'm paying attention to it, I guess. But we're totally taking both these hits. Nothing I can do about it. Problem is, I can't use Bruise right now. I don't really want to use Ambrosia. But I do have... You know what, I'm just going to Respect that. Because just screw it, you know? We'll get it in probably a 3 down regardless, so I'm not too worried about it. So we've got the melee stuff set up there. We've got 39 seconds on the blue pot, so I'm probably going to have to sip one as soon as we go for the first attack cycle. Which means we probably won't be BGSing the first round of Wardens unless I do a 3 down. So sort of a pros and cons of how that's going to go. The other consideration is until I use Assault, I can't realistically use the yellow pots, so gotta be a little bit cautious. Because I only have 1 salt left. And this asshole's doing Thunder Skulls. I don't know if that's gonna hit me or not, but I'm not taking that chance. It's gonna be 5 hits instead of 6, that's fine. I forgot to drink the blue pot anyway, so really fuck that up. Just gonna go ahead and get my range gear on, switch that out, and good to go. Alright, this is a really easy spec, I just have to take 2 steps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is still the best DPS I can do for whacking this thing, I'm not actually sure. But I might be able to get a BGS whack in here. Yeah, nice. Go back to Mage. And I have a really hard decision to make. I either have to... I think I have to Kara spec. Like, realistically, I'm gonna have to heal up before the, like, main boss phase here. But if I do that, that means that... Oh shit. That's assuming that I can get this thing down fast enough that I don't take 19 damage in this time frame. Oh. Okay, no, we're just gonna white pot now then. That's fine. Just didn't quite have enough HP in the reserves there to make the risk. Kinda, you know, worth it. Yeah, we have 52 in a minute and 3, so... Just gonna do this the slow way, because it'll definitely go down here, no question. Switch to the BGS. See if I can grab that. Nice. I just whacked it with an attack because I didn't have the spec up. There we go, 7. 56, beautiful. Okay, there's our gear. Thrall is up. That's up. Health is at 120 right now, which is kind of nuts. Given what supplies I've got left, so I could really screw up quite a lot here. As long as I don't, you know, really make a mistake, then we should be fine. So I got 2 more weight potion doses. I've got, like, 4 full brews, I think, at this point. Like, I could heal, like, 500 HP, I feel like. Plus the Kara specs. So we should be just fine. This thing's defense is as low as I can get it, so... 99 range, nearly max range gear. In terms of the, Bofa, anyways. I guess I don't have the... Is it the Zerite gauntlets? Or the Zerite, sorry, Vam braces? Would be an upgrade there. And arguably the Light Bearer is BIS, just because of the way this raid is. Anyway, I'm just rambling about nonsense at this point. I'm mostly just trying to preserve my salt so that I can use one nearer to the end phase. I'm thinking we probably salt 20% left, like during the last Red Skulls. It's like 115 versus, I guess, what, 125 max? Yeah, I missed a shot there. Not a big deal. If anything, I'm a little bit low on prayer, but I do still have 2 scarabs to crush, so I'll save those for the end. Not really sure how much Howard Stern's penis I've got left. Sorry, Tears of Eladinos. My mistake. But we're probably fine. Skull skip number 2. Alright, it's taken me 34 minutes to get to this boss. I'm just gonna kind of lock in. Don't mind me if I'm not overly talkative. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll get to them when I can. Coming into the next skull skip, it's going to start dropping rocks over me. And I don't mean this prey range attack. So we dodge 1 rock. Start clicking. And the skill skip automatically dodges the second rock. The next one will fall while I'm running. And then that one will fall where I am. And now we just don't have to worry about the rocks at all. Alright, we're almost up to the last skull skip. I'm gonna crush the last salt. Soon as we get under 20%, there we go. And I'm going to dodge 1. And then dodge 2. Hope that I don't have to pray mage, because if I do, I'm probably gonna have to tank it. No, we're good. Resummon the thrall, and we're all set. I feel like I was 1 tick later there than I meant to be, but we're fine. I have 2 doses of Tears of Eladinos left. That's not as ideal as I'd hoped it would be. So that means that we're pretty much out of prey pots at this point, except for those 2 doses of Scarab. That's a little bit scary. I've never run out of prayer during this. Speaking of prayers, someone say one for me right now, because we're going to try for a double BGS spec. And we just missed them both, I think. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Summon this. Use that, and there we go. We won't have to worry about prayer for probably the rest of the fight. Just one less thing, you know? Crap. 2, 3, shoot. 2, 3, shoot. That's not good. 2, 3, prayer. 2, 3, shoot. Just helps to count, I find, to lower the amount of panic that you've got, so that you're not just like constantly spam clicking trying to shoot when you can't. And white pot. Didn't play that quite how I wanted to, but that's okay. Still didn't take damage. And we're solid. So that's about a 5% chance at a purple. I know it says 4.89, but we're under 40 minutes, so that's going to go up to pretty much 5. $4.96. Damn. Actually terrible, loot-wise, but that's fine. We've had good luck lately, so... Basically, the way that just worked is we had a just under 5% chance to roll into the purple table, which is where all the real good stuff is. It's also where a bunch of crap is, unfortunately. But I will say the current price of light bears is for some reason around 5 mil. 4.81. And the Fang is still sitting at 20, so I mean, shit, I'll take a bond and a quarter, a bond and a third payday if I hit a Fang, or 5 mil if I hit a light bear. Any other piece of Missouri for the collection would be nice. Eladini's Ward, be really nice to hit the Shadow, though. Out of all this stuff, that thing is worth 900 mil. A little bit more than 5 or 20. But who knows, maybe I'll just stay at Tombs of Amascut until I've amassed so much wealth here that I could just buy a Shadow. I mean, my last 26 runs of... Well, hang on, math. My last 26 runs have probably made me about 7 mil, so that's not bad. Till you do the math on it, then it's terrible, but it's not bad. Ends up being 7 mil in about, profit in about 13 hours? 14 hours? Ah well. Better than just sitting at Vorkath all day, right? Nice. Got this one before it came down here. I'm loving having those exploders tagged correctly now. That's gonna save me a lot of problems. And then that. Shit. Stepped on the poison. Just gonna shoot that one twice. See if I can get that one to do anything useful for me. Kinda. Okay, so we need A couple of these assholes dealt with. Really, 3 shamans at once? Okay. Don't know how that could have gone better. I think that's the last enemy right there, so we're going to go ahead and grab the blowpipe. And just get rid of as many of these as I can. I think some people actually bring in chins for this, but I don't, so. Alright, monkey room's a little stressful, but that's done. Need full melee with this sword. Summon a thrall, get the prayers going, and do we land the spec? No, we don't. How about number 2? You know, 19 is actually not bad. It's always nice to see 50s and 60s and 70s and stuff, but I will take 19. Oh, rock landed on that one, nice. One more hit should phase him, and I didn't hit. Damn. That'll do it. That's not gonna make it. Shit. I thought, oh, come on! You saw me click the... I'm not mad. I'm furious. So now this arsehole's gonna start moving. And I have lost most of my health. So it's probable that the little bastard monkeys are gonna end up eroding enough of my health that I die in this room. I could Kara spec to save it, but it feels really bad to have to Kara spec in Baba, but I guess I might just have to. I'll see how this goes, and if I feel like I really have to Kara spec, then I'll do it after the rolling situation happens here, or in a panic when the monkeys are attacking, whichever one happens. I'm not moving. Okay, I'm dead. I'd move if he did that. I mean, I'm not moving if it does the barrel attack, not if it's gonna do that to me. That would not be good. Missed the necklace. Don't think I need it to one-shot those, though. Got it. You know, the real question is, do I even need to heal? I have 32 HP. If I don't screw anything up, nothing should really do a lot of damage to me, aside from the monkeys that are throwing rocks that it summons. This is just going to be RNG. If I get low hits, I get low hits. But I don't think I really see much of a reason to waste 2 sips of a prey potion to heal over this. So I'll just dump all 4 of my specs right now. Okay, I feel like that was 1 tick faster than what it usually is. I think I might have been standing in an awkward place. But that is a dick move, because it means the monkeys are probably gonna kill me. No? Okay, that 32 just saved me. Beautiful. Awkward start, but we've saved it. I always find it a little bit funny how far off the animation is from the true tile when you start running back and forth to things like this. Because you can see my character just got to the diamond, but in reality they're like halfway across to the next pattern solve here. That felt pretty quick, 1 minute and 3 without the 1 in 5 chance of skipping one of those. Probably would have been a sub 1 minute. Oh goddamn, we actually hit a BGS spec on Kephri. We're gonna go for 2? A 35-25, or a 25-35, whatever. That is unusual. I'm gonna run back to here, get my 1 more attack, turn my piety off, and now basically the fight has started. With Kephri missing 1/3 of its HP, and with a quite substantial defense reduction. So even if I screw up my lazy flicking of my prayers, it probably isn't going to affect my accuracy that much. Kind of perfect timing on that one, actually. This is almost the only thing that I use the blowpipe for, so I might as well try and get as much use of it at this stage as I can. The only other thing is to get rid of a lot of the baboon spawns in that first monkey room if I end up in a really bad position. Whoops. Anyway, Kephri is just a time-consuming boss. This is just sort of a freebie. Especially having BGS specs land. Actually, a little bit curious about something. Can I pile more of the poop in a single diagonal line, than I think that I can? Because I think that if I stand here, that it, like, makes a vertical line this way or something. I'm not really sure. It's one of those I kind of need to play with it mechanics. Just haven't. Let's see if we can move you in 1. Wabam. 15, nothing. Too late. Ah. I was gonna say I might actually have time to blowpipe this, but nope. Alright, so that'll be here. I want to do a little bit of a test with the next time that it poops on me, so I'm not going to offensively pray right now. Well, it's still going to take a while, let's be honest. I'm probably going to lazy flick. Okay, so I can just keep piling it into that corner if I want to. Nice. Alright, thralls down. I gotta be really careful that I don't get double feces. Oh shit, that's exactly where I wanted that. Less exactly where I wanted that, but that's fine. I've got 82 HP. I have no reason to use any more resources here. I actually kind of want to see how much it whittles me down if I don't bother. Most I've seen is a 5 so far, and I guess technically it could combo me out with a whole bunch of damage, but I just don't see it happening. Not with my range defense and 400 XP less than max defense. Anyway. Oh, 2 5s and a 1. Never mind. I stand corrected. They are going to try and make me eat my words on that one. So this Helpful Spirit's at 2 and 1. That's beautiful. We're going to go Akka next. Not what I meant to do, but it's fine. I'll do all 3 of them just on principle. Anyway, should be able to push it on the next green cycle. There it goes. And done. Whoops. There we go. That should do it. No? Thrall's gonna move him over eventually here, right? Alright, well, that'll do. I'm gonna stay ranged, because you never know if it's gonna go center for its first spec or not. It did not. So I can switch melee now if I want to. As soon as it goes mage, we go to the center. So we have red, black, yellow, black, red, back and forth. Really? There we go. Usually I have better DPS with melee. Yeah, well, maybe I'll do the center spec if I don't do this in time. Just gonna do a 3-way swap and not even worry about that, because, yeah, I only got a couple attacks there. So we got red, black, Yellow. This looks pretty promising. I should be able to take him down to 40% as long as I keep up these big hits before it turns to mage. It's been stuck on 43% for 3 hits. What happened there? That was weird. Alright, that was beautiful timing. Ran to the shadow just before it got the spec activated on me. Really can't ask for better than that. Although I am going to probably switch to range gear right now. Oops. And summon a range throw because I can. So we got yellow, white, red, white, yellow. Back and forth. Nice and easy. And this is why I switched to range and summon a range thrall. Because if it switches at the wrong time, and I have to run across here, and I'm in melee gear, especially, this could be a bit problematic, so I'm hopeful that we can take it to 20% maybe on this hit. Yeah, looks good. But now it's going to be a dick and switch to range. So I'm just going to stand right here and pray the wrong thing for a split second. That would have been bad. And I'm just going to get a couple of pot shots off while I wait for this to go away. There we go. Really doesn't change much about how I'm approaching that. Can I... there we go. Yellow, white, yellow, black, red. So I do intend on Kara speccing before we come into the final phase, as always. I'm just kind of hopeful that we can get it in the next, like, 2 hits here, so he doesn't switch to melee and make me do a full swap to range and then back. God damn it. Oh, come on. Okay. That was a little bit more stressful than I wanted it to be, but I never do like that end phase too much. Switch out to this, and level 2 Krondus. Alright, one more boss to go until we get the real fun to start. Oh, come on now. You really have to... oh, no. Okay, I ran it. One day I'll learn this room correctly, and it ain't gonna be today. Okay. I'll accept that 9 damage, but I have no idea where it came from. Alright, we ran that again. I will never understand. I'll be like 40 years older than I am right now. And wondering how the hell did this room actually work? Anyway, doesn't matter. Crushing a fresh salt, summon a nice little skeletal thrall here for myself, and BGS specking a goddamn crocodile. For a 63. Fantastic. Alright, so we're going waves first. Okay, first solve. Already. And that's just a straight push in. Got all of this prey potion situation in my inventory for this one boss fight, so I don't have to worry about being stingy with it, shall we say. Next set of waves are going to be coming pretty soon. We're at 54%, so I'm going to move back to here if I can. Oh. Sorry, the fruit fly just flew into my face right when it did that that blood barrage attack. I missed it. Ah, well. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's not a good place for that to be at all. Okay, so that's gonna... I should have... it's not worth getting greedy over. I was gonna say, I can't shoot from that far away, so... I can't actually deal any damage behind this yellow line. If I try to, it'll just pull me out. Become a bit of a problem. Oh, speaking of problems, that's just fantastic. Why wouldn't you do that right now? I was going to use offensive prayers, but I really would rather it not get into the solve phase while I'm dealing with that bullshit, so... I'm happy that didn't happen. It's not going to be as helpful as I think it is, but I'm still going to do it. Oh, you son of a bitch. I think this actually still works though, doesn't it? Okay, we're just not gonna question that. We're gonna Kara spec immediately, and then we're just gonna go on with the rest of this fight like nothing just happened. Just gonna move myself right up, get that going. Okay, we're basically just locking back in here. Should be at the 25%. Yeah, there it is. That'll avoid the blood attack. Decent. Skipping this lame song. That's better. Oh, please don't tell me they're gonna get to me here. I don't think they can. I'm gonna move to here just in case. Can we land a hit, please? Thank you. A 40 even. Decent. Got like 4 or 5 misses in a row with 125 range and like this gear. I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, we got 2 full super restores left. That's pretty consistent and nice. We got the double ambrosia, but it's only 3 and oh, I maybe should have kept a couple of those restores. Okay, we're probably fine. And if we're not, we'll find out. Anyway, we got 4 ambrosias. What could really go wrong, you know? 2 doses of salt left. So what do I need to do here? We got 3 minutes of that. I want this over here. I want a thrall. I want my BGS equipped. That'd be a good choice. So we're gonna drink, talk, walk, and spec. And shooting for like 50 damage or so. That'll do. And I'll walk off around 70 HP or so. Now, because I've got 4 ambrosias, I'm not going to bother even lazy flicking this. I'm just going to leave my prayers on. We'll just do the old click and sip the coffee and wait for the time to pass kind of method. Because the white pot's going to give me full HP and prayer anyway. This, I think, hits at 29 on me. I hope. 27. Okay. So if I have less than 66 HP on this raid doing that, then I'm going to be in trouble. That's the number to beat. Beautiful. Okay. So we wait pot, we switch to mage, we move this here, and we're good. Alright. Phase 1 of 4 down. That's going good. You gonna start me with Thunder Skulls? No, it's a nice easy one. Alright, fantastic. I don't have a good name for this particular spec, but I haven't even had to change my prayer yet. He's gonna shoot magic attacks at me the whole fight, I guess. Okay. Even the one that turned off my prayer was a magic attack. There we go. Now we're switching it up. Nice. Okay. So we have the potential for a 2-down. 4, 5, and the whack. If we get the whack, we have a 2-down. And given my prayer supplies right now, I would much rather a 2-down than a 3-down. It's not going to be a deal breaker if it doesn't happen, but I don't like to be stressed when it comes to prayer supplies. No. Bastard. Nice. Got everything in time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even need to do this, but I got a BGS spec, but I'm going to wait until after the first set of red skulls, I think. I've got 1 minute and 40 left on my adrenaline right now. So this should be good. I got high hopes. I'm going to do like a full melee switch BGS spec on him at 80%. At least I hope it'll be good anyway. It has potential. Okay, so I want the scarab out of here. And that is not a good idea. Oh my god, that was a really stupid thing to have done. I started to do the melee switch during the skull phase there. That would have got me 100% just completely royally screwed. So first one's a 0. Second one's a 0. God damn it. And if I wait just a second more, I've actually got enough spec to go for 3. Goddamn right, 47. That's more like it. I know it resets its defense during the last phase, but I'll have spec by then, so... Coming up on the 60% point where it'll start making me actually use protection prayers. Oh shit. That was weird. I don't really have an answer for what just happened there. I ran to the right a little bit too far. And I think my Skeletal Thrall might have actually done enough damage to phase Akka into that. I think that might have been what happened. Anyway, gonna resummon that good little skeleton fella there. Got a minute and 12 instead of 12 seconds. I really should go for 99 Mage though, thinking about it, because that would let me one-shot the monkeys in the monkey room without having to do Augury. It would... I think it increases the Thrall to a full minute 20 instead of a minute 12 from where I'm at. Might be wrong about that. But I'm just gonna have to add that to my list, I guess. Just a very, very, very slow maxing character. Alright, 40%. We dodge one rock. And then we click. If you ever wondered how to skull skip. Warning, may or may not work on Insanity. And by may or may not, I mean, I think it does, but I don't know what's different about it. I know that on this particular raid, with this order, these invocations, and this setup, I can always skull skip the way that I've been doing it, so... At this point, it's more just a convenience for me. I don't like to have to switch gear part way through this fight and tag all the skulls and do all that nonsense. Problematically, too, if I was to have to tag the skulls, I'd have to kind of... I don't want to say I'd have to learn it, because it's really not that difficult, but it's just something that I'm not used to doing. So it's not something that I've got, like, I can't really rely on muscle memory for it or something, you know? Whereas this, I dodge 2 rocks. That's 1. That's 2. Now I click. And we run to safety 100% of the time. I'm going to move the BGS to the top row. I'm not going to do a melee swap for the BGS. I'm just going to put on the BGS. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're going to re-salt. Because that would be devastating to run out of salt in the middle of the end of the fight and be looking around my inventory for it and to get comboed out by something. Not there. Okay, first hit. Miss. Second. 33 is actually still probably worth the time invested for it. Resummon the Thrall. Whoop, didn't mean to run there, but that's fine. 3, go. Oops, I was trying to click off of that tile, I just didn't quite manage it. Scarab, range prey, and we should be pretty much on autopilot at this point. Oh, that's too early. Unless I do something stupid like that. And I mean, I've got 2 Ambrosias, but like, I'll just use one. I was going to try and heal up with Bruise just on principle, but that's just going to make this take longer, and the longer this takes, the more time I'm going to be spending doing last row. Which I'm not the best at, as you can see. Alright, whatever. It doesn't matter. We got it in 36:48, so that's going to be a 5% chance at a purple. 4.74 goes up to 4.81. Don't quite know why it's that low, but that's fine. Nothing yet. Although we got the Eye of the Corruptor again, that's interesting. That's the first duplicate of any jewel that I've gotten other than the black one. And that's like 300 plus raids in, completions in, so... But yeah, that's kind of back-to-back crap loot, I gotta tell you. I'm gonna spend maybe 5 minutes or so sorting myself out, having a little stretch, grabbing a fresh cup of coffee, and getting ready for another run. But hopefully it'll be a little bit better than that. Let's see, inventory looks good, except I like that to be there. Okay, I'll be back in maybe 5 minutes, and we'll run another 315. Leave this up in case anyone comes back and is curious what sort of invos we're running. How you doing, really? I am just between raids. If you want to see how the last boss fight went, YouTube has this fantastic functionality in their stream player that lets you go and rewatch any part of the stream that you want, but if you'd like to go and watch the last Akka fight, I'll spoil it for you. We did not get a purple, but it went pretty well. I'm just going to grab a cup of coffee before the next run, so stick around if you'd like to. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, I'm just sitting back down for a couple of minutes here. I thought that there was a full pot of coffee upstairs, and what it turns out is that someone else drank the whole goddamn pot of coffee that I made. So, kettle's boiling. It'll just be another minute or two. I mean, it's a 40-minute raid, so if I make a boiling hot cup of instant coffee right now, then by the time that I've got a chance to have a sip between maybe the third and fourth boss, it should be just a perfect temperature. So if you're curious about, you know, how anything works, any of the content, levels, gear, requirements, invocations, odds, whatever you want to ask, feel free. I'm happy to discuss RuneScape, or in this particular case, Raids 3, the Tombs of Amascut. Hilariously, my completions are a little bit skewed. I've only done 22 over 300 invocations, which puts it to expert mode, and almost 300 under 300 invocation. I like doing 270s. So I did 270 of them apparently, and, well, loot hasn't been as good as it could have been. At current prices, though, this would be decent. This would be like 40 mil plus another 35. That'd be like, shit, that'd be actually decent. That'd be 75 mil if I'd gotten that at current prices. And I think Missouri stayed about the same. I'm actually curious, is the Eladini's ward gone up in price, or is it still... I don't know how the hell to spell or say that, so let's just type in ward, actually. 3.36 or 3.346. It's actually about tripled in price since the last time I got one as a drop, so that's interesting. Anyway, kettle just finished boiling. I'll be back in just a minute with a hot cup of coffee, and then we can get started on this raid. Alright, sitting back down here. Headphones cable is askew. Alright, let's get back into this. I'm going to go ahead and pre-pot with an anglerfish to get my health up to 121. Ranging potion, combat potion. Extended anti-venom. Thank you, Rayleigh. Because there's so many new players to RuneScape, I never know who is in the chat, like who's a RuneScape player, let's put it that way, and who's just kind of investigating the game to see what all the hype is, so. When I started doing Toa, so I started Toa with maybe 50 mil worth of melee gear, and my current range setup, aside from the Aranea boots, because those weren't out yet. Excuse me. And the current range gear that I've got on is really the most expensive by a huge margin of any of my gear. It's about 150 mil or so for, I think, for a full Bofa and Crystal setup these days. But my god, is it ever good. Like, it absolutely blasts at certain bosses that would otherwise be much more expensive to be that effective at, let's put it that way. So, you definitely don't need a Bofa setup, it's just, I didn't do it without one, and I wouldn't recommend it. Sorry, I got a bit of multitasking in this room to do that kind of screws me a little bit here. Okay, so that's gonna blow up there, so I need this on you. Don't blow up. Okay, that was awkward. Didn't realize the mage was still alive. This is just like the most multitasky room in the entire damn raid, so I'm probably not going to be able to form a coherent thought while I'm doing this, I'm going to be honest. Okay, that should summon a new wave. There they are. So if you have 82 attack, then the Fang is the only other thing that I would say is like 100% absolutely get this if you're going to do Toa. Obviously, if you're an Iron Man, that's a little bit more problematic to start Toa with a drop from Toa. Oh shit. Almost had a little incident there. As I say, this room is more multitasky than anything else in the raid, so that should be the end of it. Yep. I've only just completed... Okay. Are you on an Iron Man account, or are you on a main profile? Because if you're on an Iron Man... Yeah, I would honestly just say that Corrupted Gauntlet is probably a prerequisite for Tombs of Amascut. There's nothing from Toa that you really need as an Iron Man, aside from, like, the Fang, maybe? Like, you could go for Missouri, I guess, or the Shadow, but... There's not a... I don't think there's a great deal of really good tertiary drops from here. Yeah, I only use the term Iron Man, and, like, it's a gender-neutral term that comes from, like, marathons, Iron Man, that whole thing, for the record. So, you could be an Iron Woman all you want, but I'm still gonna call your character an Iron Man regardless of their gender, just on principle. Just in case I'm being weird about that. Yeah, I don't know. I would say maybe Zulrah would be a better start than Toa. Like, I would... Do you have a blowpipe? Like, obviously you don't have a blowpipe if you're running a rune crossbow, but I guess they kind of serve different purposes. Not at all. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that, because, like, you could just get Spoon to Shadow and then never have to worry about, like, a shit ton of mage gear ever again. Or, even better yet, you can end up getting Spoon to Fang and have, like, a Slayer weapon that's kick-ass at a lot of places. So, I don't know. What would you want from Toa? Like, what's your best case scenario drop as an Iron Man? $700 KC at Zulrah? I've got less than 100 KC at Zulrah and nothing dropped, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh hey, you wanna see some bullshit RNG? I will say I did get a Zenite, an uncut Zenite from Zulrah, but that's not... that doesn't affect me really. And I think for Iron Man they just buy those from the Tockle shop anyway, so it's not really that difficult. But yeah, no, minimum Iron Man gear from this. I know that Gnome Monkey has a Iron Man specific guide for doing 300s, but yeah, I would say as an Iron Man your best bet is to do this with other people. And if you do it on the free-for-all worlds, there's a lot of parties that'll run like 400 plus invos. And, I mean, I've only run 1 or 2 rounds with those guys, but it is insanity. It's like an under 20-minute run at like a 440 or a 420 or a 415 or whatever. So it ends up like a 50% chance that the raid itself provides a purple, divided by the people that are in it, practically speaking. So, I don't know. I would think that that would be your better odds. If you're doing it with friends, even better. I mostly just don't trust anyone that I know to, you know, actually split a staff if they get it. And that includes me. The problem is, if I were to get an item that's worth 900 mil as a drop in my name, the incentive for me to split that item and be fair and reasonable and equitable to the people that I'm partying with, the incentive just isn't really there for me. So I don't party with people because I don't want to be that asshole that just doesn't split the big high-value item and then everyone's mad at me. You know what I mean? I can't, with all good conscience, say I would 100% split, like 50-50 a Shadow, but if I'd gotten a couple of them as a drop, and it wasn't something that would literally double my bank value, that'd be a bit different. See, that's even worse. It's great for you, but like, the one friend of mine that I have done some raids with plays mains in Iron Man, and I know that they've got enough money on their main profile that they would split a Shadow with me. But I've also already told them if there's ever a situation where like they trade me their Twisted Bow, their Shadow, or their Scythe from their main profile, I'm not going to give it back. Like I've given them the clear prerequisite, and this stands to anyone. If you trade me an item that has a value over 100 mil, you should not expect to get it back for any reason. blanket statement for all future interactions with anyone on this stream. So I remember a couple of years ago, people were trying to do this whole like trust trading scam with big streamers, and it was just not going well. But I do know a couple of them lost a few bill. It was prior to the event where there were twisted bows dropping on the ground, if that gives you sort of a time frame for it. Or sorry, spawning on the ground. Not sure how long you've been playing RuneScape, but if you remember that event, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't actually remember which update that was. Was that the Farming Guild update? It might have been. Because I think they were messing with the Hespori boss. It seems to be my recollection of it at the time, and I woke up 4 hours after it had happened, so I missed out on the opportunity to mess around with, like, a million free twisted bows, but from what people told me, one of the people in the art department at Jagex, and again, this is all hearsay, I don't know how much of this is right, but one of the people at the art department at Jagex was working on the Hespori boss fight and had manipulated a tile that, or someone at least had manipulated a tile so that it would automatically spawn certain items for them to be able to test it during the boss fight. But somebody from the art department moved that tile from inside of Hespori's boss fight cave to outside of the cave, and no one really realized. And they pushed the update live. So all of a sudden, there were totally tradable, sellable on the Grand Exchange, totally basically legitimate twisted bows that were respawning on every single world on a specific tile that you could just walk up to and pick up. Just outside of the Farming Guild in Kurun somewhere. So this went on for several hours, apparently. I don't know why I did that, I meant to do that. There we go. This went on for several hours, apparently, before they realized we can't actually undo this damage. Like, this is too far gone now. During that time, though, they did the funniest thing that I've ever seen Jagex do in terms of showing their own incompetency. And I don't actually know if it was even supposed to be a legitimate workaround for it, but they placed stumps so that you couldn't actually walk up to the tiles. Now, I'm gonna let you answer this question, because I trust you. I trust any RuneScape player more than I trusted the devs in that moment. How would you go about picking up an item that's maybe 3 or 4 squares away from you, that you can see and, you know, you got line of sight, you can click on it, but you just can't walk up to it and get it? Could you think of any possible way that you could pick that item up for yourself that's been in the game since, like, 2001? Perhaps a magic spell in the under level 50 range on the standard spellbook that even a fucking free player can use? So they apparently forgot that telekinetic grab exists. Put up a bunch of logs around it, so all of a sudden the people that were just standing on the spawn point were now just standing 4 squares away and telegrabbing it as soon as it respawned. Which, why even hotfix that into the game like that? But regardless, that was Jamflex of the day. So anyway, after about 2 hours, they decided, okay, well, this has gone too far. There's no way that we can actually roll back this kind of a situation. Like, we can't just undo thousands of T-bows going out onto the market. So it's one of the few times that they have rolled back the server by, I think in that case, like 6 hours, or somewhere in that range. Now, the whole time, and even to this day, I maintain, I think that it was a Jagex psyop, and I think it was them taking a shot against the RMT websites. Because this is at, like, peak gold selling as a problem. At the time, like, a mil was, like, almost 60 cents on the market, and I only knew that because it was just being spammed constantly in every chat all the time, but, like, way worse than it is right now. Like, they would be telling you rates, usernames, how much you can trade, like, everything, right in the main public chat in every GE. So, Jagex, I think, this is my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat, that Jagex wanted to take a stab at the RMT websites. So they put infinite T-bows into the market for about 3 or 4 hours, and a lot of people showed screenshots of themselves having RMT, because you had a T-bow. What were you going to do? You were going to sell it on the damn market for like 1 billion coins, but maybe you got 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 of them. What are you going to do with 20 billion coins if you think it's going to get rolled back? Well, a lot of people sold it for real money. And I know that there was a screenshot going around of somebody that had sold for somewhere in the nature of 40,000 GBP worth of Bitcoin, because that was what it was converted into in the picture. So I think they probably took a couple $100,000, maybe a couple $1 million even out of the pockets of the RMT websites in doing that. But at the same time, if they did do that on purpose, there's no way that was worth them doing that, you know? Like the Telegrab thing alone was kind of embarrassing, honestly. The fact that they just showed that they didn't know their own game to that degree. And I mean, I've been in a panic before, I get it. Sometimes you do stupid stuff. But that one kind of cracked me up for a long time. I still think about it, obviously, now and then. Not even going to bother turning my prayers off. I'm just going to let him do it. 22%. We can just ignore everything in this room at this point. Watch me get comboed by these things now. 5-4. Are they going to do it? I'll give them a chance. I'll give these little insects a chance to get Kephri's revenge. Let's see if the spec can finish him. Oh, only a 6. 52 HP to go, though. 48. And this thing seems to have gotten diarrhea in its old age. It just keeps shitting. Alright, we're through Kephri. The Kephri puzzle's done. Kephri, sorry, I might have just had an aneurysm. So this is a little bit problematic, and I hate when this happens. But we only have 1 salt, and we have level 1, so I'm going to do akka at level 1. Because it'll be faster, and I don't really need that much in the way of salt for zebak. What's your mining level, really? Because I find a lot of people don't know that you can get 1 extra damage tick against the Het's seal situation in the middle there if you don't have enough of a high enough mining level to be able to 1-down it. Then sometimes this can be enough to do it. Is that the only one left? Yep. So I'm going to place this one beside. I'm going to wait until it goes around one more time and push it just after. And you see that I've got tiles marked 1 block away from Het Seal. If I click this, the same tick, this turns green. Then I get 1 more damage tick against this than what I normally would. You saw I started walking while things were still sort of retracting into the ground and everything. If you've got 85 or over mining, you never need to do this, but I think if you have under 80 mining, then that might be able to 1-down it instead of 2-downing this room. It probably depends on whether you've got a dragon or a rune pickaxe as well. I'm not actually sure if that affects things. But if you get 85 mining, then spoiler, shooting stars are super AFK for that. Then you can always 1-down that room. What do I want to do here? I want to salt now, I guess? Yeah, honestly, it's the only reason that I'm happy that I've trained my mining level. A lot of the time, when I've got Bond active on this game, I'll just, like, clean or do something in my house where I'm, like, sort of around the computer maybe every 5 or 10 minutes. And if I'm doing that, I love to do shooting stars. You can also get a ring from there that gives you a +4 invisible mining boost, so it's a little bit useful for if you're actually mining something. And I think the only other thing that you get from those are the recolor from the Prospector's outfit. But if you want a Golden Prospector's outfit and a really AFK way to level mining, it's not the best XP per hour, I'm not going to pretend that it is, but given that it's literally 1 click every 10 minutes, it is the best click per XP, I guess. Oh shit, black, red, black, yellow, I forgot it's only going to be 4 because I'm used to doing a level 2 akka. That would have been bad if I had to try to wait just a tiny bit longer. So I'm probably going to take it to 60% right when it switches to mage, or maybe even after at this rate. So I gotta be careful about getting specced. No, we're good. Okay, perfect. So if you click on the grouping content in the bottom left corner, and then select shooting stars from the activities list there, you can actually join an in-game CC for them, and people will, if you ask them, tell you where they are and what world they're on. Or you can build something in your player-owned house. I forget what exactly it is. It's like a telescope or something. You can use it to try and find them that way if you really want to do it thematically, but if you want to do it like a grouping event, because it kind of is, then you can just click the join button on this page, and it'll join into Shooting Stars. Give you some people to chat about Shooting Stars with, and to be honest, most of the time that I've spent in that channel it's just like trolling and nonsense and that type of BS, but for the most part, they'll eventually tell you where there's a shooting star. It's at 40, nice. Okay, we're going to the center. Yellow, black, red, white. Nice. Gotta love when you hit a 41 into a 44. Sweet. Black, yellow, white, red. Oh, that's wrong. Alright, that got a little bit hectic there. I almost took an off-prayer hit. That would have been fine, but it just really would have been annoying more than anything else, because I'm still going to have to Kara spec before we get into the final phase. My advice, by the way, for Tombs of Amascut is that you just keep grinding it as much as you need to until you get the yellow Karas. The yellow Karas makes everything so much easier, way easier on supplies, way easier on just peace of mind, all that kind of thing. How long have I been playing? I came back in probably like 2018-ish, and I hadn't really played it since 2004 at that point. And when I came back, it was actually the first time that I'd ever played on a members account, so a lot of the members content, basically all of it, was new to me. But I used to stream it on Twitch a little bit, and kind of got a little bit overly addicted to it doing that. That's gonna hit me. That's not fine. Okay, I was gonna say that's fine, but there's like 3 of them in a row that were gonna hit me there. Oh, come on. The low hits. I can't tell if that's gonna hit me or not, but that one is. Finally. By the way, you can summon a melee thrall on Akka and it doesn't move him during the last phase anymore. I don't know if it ever did, but it doesn't now. And technically I do this room a little bit wrong. I never really figured out how you're supposed to do this room, so I just marked where you can run from. And because of the running mechanics in this game, if you're sprinting, you skip every other tile. As long as I'm sprinting from one of these 2 places, the crocodile things shouldn't hit me. But I generally just screw up avoiding the poison on the ground now and then. Yeah, the yellow gem is the one that does that heal. The reason that I say it's bad advice to wait until you, like, keep grinding until you get that. Now, there is actually a drop mechanic, a bit of a mercy mechanic, for the jewels that you haven't gotten, if you haven't gotten them after like a lot of KC. So if you can just, how you doing, chickens? If you can just do like super fast KC with a group, even if you're doing low invos, just get the yellow gem ASAP. The problem I had was it was well over 200 raids to get the yellow gem. I got horribly unlucky, and yeah. I think by the time that I got it, the Mercy mechanic was so far into play that it was almost a 1 in 20. Like it had almost maxed out the drop, what do you call that? Drop protection, I guess? Either way, if you can just grind that one ASAP, would even be worth probably doing like entry modes. You should do whatever the highest you can is, but like, if that's entry mode, that's entry mode. Just get the damn piss Karis, as some people call it, myself included. It's yellow. What do you want? But yeah, the way the spec on it works, it takes 75% of your spec, or about 42.5, I guess, technically, if you're under the effect of an adrenaline potion near the end. And it, I forget exactly how much of your prayer it takes. A lot, anyways. Oh, shit. That's really bad. Okay, that might be okay. No, that's still alive. Sorry, I gotta focus here and not get screwed by the waves. It takes like 80% of my prayer, give or take. And it'll cure any poison that you've got. It'll bring you right back to full plus HP, like as if you'd used an anglerfish. And chickens, this particular piece of content can drop a staff that's worth 900 mil, so that's always what we're aiming for. Now that I'm not having a heart attack trying to figure out the solves on this one, we should be a little more calm now. But I am just going to jump back down into this corner in case it does some BS on this wave. Also, this corner that I'm in right now, I think it isn't possible for it to, I don't think it can get poison on it, unless it's like some weird unlikely situation. Oh shit, that's not good. Okay. No, we're in trouble, we're dead. Yep. It spawned too far apart, there was no saving it, the raid's over. The reason I say that is because I've only got one salt from the spirit situation. So these, I mean, I'll give it a shot, but we're basically doing the whole rest of the raid on that one salt, which means that I'm not going to have access to brews. Which means if we get screwed on the life loot, then we're just, that's just it. We're just screwed, you know? I mean, if I get double ambrosia, I'll call it a probably still fine. But if I don't, then, and maybe not. But yeah, sometimes you just get unlucky with zebak, and that's all I really consider that to have been. If you want to learn how to never get unlucky like that, then look up something called wave skipping. Basically what you need to do is use the True Tile player plugin, excuse me, and set it so that the waves have the True Tile indicators on them. And once you've done that, you pretty much just have to walk one step forwards towards the away from the waves, and then one step into the waves, and you just kind of walk through them. There's like a whole mechanic to it. I don't do it because I shouldn't have to, basically, is the way I look at it. But it is trying to do the same bullshit to me again, so... Slayer task is 121 fire giants. Yeah, you're an Iron Man, right? So you probably don't have access to a cannon. That's probably not a good solve, is it? Actually, that works. Yeah, if you have access to a cannon, fire giants aren't too bad. If you don't, I would consider them maybe a skip. But that's just me. If you have the Catacombs of Kurund unlocked, actually, I think there's fire giants in there. So if you're going to fight them, that's probably where I would do it, just on the principle of getting those shards that Boom was after the other day. So that you can work on Emberlight eventually. No cannons here. Eh, it happens. I honestly don't know what, like, use an Iron Man has for a cannon, because I just feel like it'd be such a time loss to actually make the cannonballs, but I just don't know, like, what would an Iron Man cannon? I really hope that's lined up. That's not lined up. Fuck. That's really bad. Go here, and then go here, and pray, and oh my god, my asshole could make diamonds if you fed me coal right now. Okay. Really hope nobody was really paying too much attention to what I just said. Anyway. Can you just already? Okay, avoided the blood magic damage, but it summoned these orbs that are getting a little too close. Alright, we're good. Oh, they actually did deal damage to me, that's weird. It healed me, but they did hit me. Yeah, fair enough, chicken. There is a way to task skip with the lowest tier master, but I mean, it's not really advisable. Sort of a emergency situation if you just cannot do the task that you've been assigned. Please give me 2 Ambrosia, you son of a... It gave me 4 brews, and I literally can't use brews after 4 minutes from now, so I'm going to just be like chugging brews at this point. And because I don't have any salts, I can actually take that ambrosia. Okay, this is some stupid BS, but this is gonna be fine, I think. It's my own doing, so it is what it is. 41. Are you... Okay, you know what? I just did all of that with the wrong, That's fine. Okay, so the plan now is to just drink an absolute shit ton of yellow potions as fast as I can to avoid all the damage from this. It's probably going to hit me twice. If I can 2 down the wardens, then I might maybe be able to use a healing spec to solve that problem, but it's not looking great. I don't know if I live this or not, so I just start drinking nectars. That'll do it. So I expect to get hit by 2 of these. Like, that's fully expected. The goal here is to just hold on to the ambrosias like they're just going out of style, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna need this up here. I need to be in mage gear immediately. I can drink 1 more of those, 1 of these, and we're good. So I have 2 minutes to basically keep my HP as high as I can with brews. I have 48 seconds on the blue pot. I might be able to get DDS specs in 40 seconds, but it's really just going to depend on how these hits go, I guess. Okay, that was barely in time, but it was in time. Unfortunately, it timed out badly with the spec attack. So about minute 31. I'm gonna heal up when I switch to range. Seven seconds. 3, 4, 5. Does the whack hit? Yes. Yes, it does. "47 seconds. Thunder Skulls. Great. Shit. In fairness, I got through almost all the damn brews in that time, but that's the last one I'm gonna drink. Yeah, we'll drink one more. Oh, he's downed. Okay, should get the full gambit of attacks here. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll go for a whack with this to make sure. 9. I'm gonna drop that one nectar so I don't accidentally click it because that will actually screw me over. We're at 22%. I don't know if that will let me hit. It did. Not. Never mind. That wasn't a spec. I'm just gonna wait for one more BGS spec because I've got the blue potion up and I just feel like I might as well. It was a miss. Okay. These things happen. Okay, so I no longer have any salt. I have to completely heal myself and make it through the rest of this with the Tears of Elidines and with using... You know what? There's no reason for me to use prayer right now, except for to speed things up, right? So... I think that would be the way to go. Turn on, XP drop, turn off. Turn on, XP drop, turn off. But I'm losing time on that, so... It's just, I need to be a little bit scared about supplies here, because if I run out of prayer at the end, we are absolutely just unequivocally hosed. So I'm not even gonna offensive prayer this entire phase. It's BGS spec, it's not that big of a deal. Like, if I happen to lazy flick some, great, but I'm not just gonna leave it on like what I usually would. Oh shit. I also have to worry about keeping my health as high as possible, because basically if I can't heal with Ambrosias, I have to Kara spec, but that's gonna eat into a lot of my prayer. I don't know how much I've actually got in the backpack. That's the problem. I think maybe I need to take a quick peek in that bag when we get to the next skull skip. There it is. We're probably in a bit of trouble. That's what that shows me. I basically have 2 potions. And kind of a long fight left. So I'm gonna have to kind of milk my offensive prayers here for all they're worth. Really happy those BGSs landed though. And as much as it would speed things up, I'm not going to use Thralls unless we get right to the end, and I've still got at least a full bit of prayer left. Because, like, this isn't that stressful looking at, like, the consumption rate. I'm used to this being, like, I just leave my attack prayers on this entire phase. So I'm used to consuming way more. Honestly, we're just going to do that. And coming into 40% here. Oh. Okay, single rock dodge. Unfortunate. Just gonna tank it. It's only 20. Okay, that's a yellow click. That's why I don't like adding extra complexity to this when I don't need to. You know, I've got 2 scarabs left. I'm just leaving it on. I'm going back to, like, full prayer usage mode. This is fine. The reason I was a little panicked is I genuinely forgot I still had 2 doses of ambrosia. And that completely regenerates my prayer as well, so that's much less of a problem than I thought it was going to turn out to be. Coming up on 20%. Okay, we dodged 2 rocks. Rock 1. Rock 2. We're back in cycle. This goes here. Oop. Shit. Yellow clicked. What am I doing here? Am I Karis specking or am I white potting? That's all the prayer that I have left. Oh my god, okay, so I'm white potting for sure. But I'm gonna have to wait to do it until I've used up more of my prayer or else it's a waste. Okay, I'm honestly a little panicked here. Let's see how the BGS spec goes. Because I don't have enough prayer to be dicking around with the healing specs. Missed. Wrong prayer anyway. Missed. Shit. Shoot. 2, 3, shoot. Move, 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 shoot. Move, move, shoot. Prayer. Move, move, shoot. Prayer. Move, shoot. Sounded a little bit ridiculous, but it's working. 2, 3, shoot. 2, 3, shoot. White potion. Beautiful. Managed to wait long enough that I was missing a lot of prayer for that. 2, 3, shoot. 2, 3, shoot. That's gonna hit me. Oh, it didn't. Okay. 2, 3, 5% left. .7, come on, there we go. Alright. I did tell you that was a failed raid at some point throughout there. And we did that with 1 salt, and still have a little bit of supply left, so I don't even care that that isn't a purple. I do care that it isn't a purple, but I care less that that isn't a purple. Technically, that knocked it to a 295 because I didn't make it in time. And that was a 1 mil drop. Because I got Snapdragons twice. They rolled twice. That's really good. So, you know, if every drop was that, and it was like 2 mil an hour while I was farming the staff, that'd be great. But that'd be a little too much to ask for. So, there's a couple of obvious things that I need to improve upon. Most of them come down to just my own reaction time and ability to click things, but honestly, the fact that I'm managing 310s today solo is, I mean, could be worse. 315s, actually. So wait, that went from a 315 to a 295. Oh, okay, I didn't actually know how the walk for it invocation worked 100%. I never really thought to look at it too closely. It increases the rate invocation by 10, so without it, this is a 305. And I thought that if you don't make it in time, it just gives you a 305, but no, it gives you a minus 10 from the 305, so it's a 315 or a 395. 295. So if I swap that for hardcore run, then I don't have to worry about time. But if I die, it's an immediate rate wipe. And I think that probably is a better choice. Alternatively, I could put them both on, do 525s. But then again, because we had softcore run, we were able to salvage that last one, and that saved me from wasting kind of a lot of time. So I think that is the right choice. I'm gonna have a sip of my nice, perfect temperatured coffee now. How are you folks doing on the chat anyways? To get a little bit more specific about gear for Rayleigh Taka there. As I say, the Fang is obviously gonna be your bread and butter once you get it, but trying to get it, I don't know what melee weapon you've got, I would probably want to get at least like a whip. But I know that's really high Slayer level to be able to get that, so Zombie Axe? Maybe? I don't know. You don't really use a lot of melee. Like, you melee Baba, you melee Kephri, and there's a little bit of Akka that involves melee. But for the most part, I find my range gear is where most of my damage investment comes, because I'm ranging all of zebak. I'm ranging some, half, whatever of Akka now. And I'm ranging the entire pillar after I BGS spec it. I'm ranging I'm range and maging the back and forth BS with phase 2, because it is what it is. And then ranging phase 3, ranging phase 4. So if you can get good range gear, go for it. I don't necessarily advise you recolor yourself like you're a stoplight, but this is just crystal with a recolor, if you're curious. With the Missouri Assembler, I guess I unlocked it one day, so I figured why not. It's just the same exact stats as the blue backpack from Vorkath. I've got an Anguish. You probably could get by with just like a Fury or a Glory or something like that. Would be fine. Just something that gives stats to all three if you have to, because I'm assuming that you probably don't have the Occult Necklace. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I know that it has a ridiculous Slayer level requirement though. Is it 93? Jesus. I think it's Smoke Devils that drop those. I might be wrong about that. But obviously that would be really good. Any kind of Zenite jewelry you could get would be fantastic. I think you could probably get away with using the quest trident that I can't think of the name of, that's red. The charge trident, shit, Iban staff. And I mean, my mage gear is so bad. Like, I kind of ran out of money after sorting out melee gear, and I came to a realization with mage gear, it really just doesn't matter, so you might as well fashionscape if you don't have money for max gear. Because, like, Bloodbark is, I think it's 1% per. Yeah, it's 1% per. It's got good magic accuracy. It looks fantastic. And it's just cheap as all hell for these three. It also happens to go really well with the imbued Zamorak cape with the Deadman recolor that I've got. I kind of wish the Malediction Ward looked different, but while I'm using it with the Trident, it kind of goes with the blue, I think. So, I'm going to be honest with you, I fashionscape mage. Like, it's just dumb. Ring-wise, I'd probably rock the Ring of Shadows or a Berserker Ring. Berserker Ring, actually, definitely, instead. Aranea boots are... I used to run Dragon boots. Looks a little bit better with Aranea boots, but Dragon boots are pretty much the same stats. I think they just maybe have crappier range stats or something. Can't remember exactly. Better defense, but no mage and range. I was about to ask about the cape. Yeah, it's just the imbued Zamorak cape, but I found out that if you get the Dead Man mode imbue for it, or the recolor or whatever for it, it gives it this really cool skull. And honestly, I don't think I've run into another person wearing it yet, which surprises the hell out of me. The Guthix one looks pretty cool, though. I was really torn between the two. I like the Guthix max cape, I think it is, or whatever it is. But I'm only 95 mage. Not. Ooh, wait, when the hell did I level up? Okay, I'm 96 mage now. But I'm gonna take maybe 2 minutes here. I just need to crack my neck, stretch for a couple of seconds, then we'll pre-pot, run right back into that 316. And to be fair, by the way, there's a bunch of new stuff that came out that I don't use. I know that there's a prayer potion that regenerates your prayer over time that comes from the newer prayer content. I feel like that'd be really goddamn good for Toa. But at the same time, it resets your stats to full at the end of each room. So I feel like that would actually be a really good pre-pot to sip that, and then bank that, go into the monkey room, and not have to worry about prayer pretty much all the way through the monkey room. I think it's called like a prayer regen or a prayer renewal or something. Hang on. Prayer regeneration. Oh. I didn't know they were 11 grand to sip. Okay. Yeah, I got some problems with that, shall we say. I think we're just gonna go ahead and keep drinking our cheapo potions. Hey chickens, have you checked out gemstone crabs yet, or is that what you mean by that? Sorry about that, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, I feel like sand crabs, honestly, are still the way to go. There's another potion that they added with the newer potion update, actually, that I meant to try out. Have either of you Iron Man players messed around with that potion update at all? So I feel like every time that I talk to somebody about it, they're just like, oh, I didn't know that existed for the last 6 months. There's apparently something called an aggression potion. So if you're trying to AFK somewhere, you take a sip of the potion, and if you lose aggression, it just pisses everything off at you after a few seconds. But apparently it works on things that normally wouldn't be aggressive to you. So it might be something that you can, like... I don't even know. Surge? Yeah, maybe. I don't know what they're called. I literally just read through the update and skimmed it the other day, and I haven't messed with any of it yet. I still haven't even done the quest for it. Like, I had the quest cape at one point, but I'm 165 out of 173 at this point, so... Last quest I did was on Loch Yama, and that was a huge disappointment to me. Goading? Maybe? I don't think it's goating, anyways. If it's a goating potion, you know what? I just don't want to know. Okay, that worked out good. That sort of did. Then I'm gonna switch back to that. That's gonna explode. Goddamn. Shoot. Okay. 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 We're still fine. We're still fine. Jesus Christ, so many things are hitting me from so many different directions. Okay. We're all good. Honestly can't even see if there's something explosive coming at me, so I'm just running all the damn way over here at this point. And then thrower. Potion. Gotta get rid of these guys before they start spawning more. God damn it. There's 2 exploders coming at me. There's one. I can kind of pull this around. Oh, oh! Okay, that got rid of a crap ton of those monkeys following me, so that worked out really well. So I need this. Brawler. Poison one, that doesn't need to be on, and I should be good to just blowpipe these ones down now. Okay, sorry about that. That stresses the hell out of me. Gotta actually think about what I'm doing during that phase. It's a little too much to ask, if you ask me. Using a brain cell. I only got 2 of the damn things. What am I gonna do if I use one up? I won't be able to rub them together for warmth anymore. You got me curious. Maybe it is goading. It is not goating. It is goading. And, Jagex has done weirder. Goat potions. I could believe it. What I can't believe is that this BGS spec just hit a 66. Never mind, I was going to say missed twice in a row. I was trying to anti-jinx myself there. Seems to have worked. So I went from this room kills me sometimes to this room stresses me out with the update. That was the change that I experienced. Oh crap. I'm just gonna kill these. Alright. I guess I was 1 square away. So, we're gonna go ahead and do the monkey room again for no apparent reason. I just feel like restarting the raid for no particular reason. I just don't like this raid. This raid was rude to me in middle school, and I just have held a grudge all these years. All my homies say, fuck that raid. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I got no excuse for that. I didn't realize it was 1 block away, 82 damage. Remember when I said that the game looks easy until you screw something up? That's what I meant. Because it tends to punish 1 block of screw up by just kind of nuking you. Well. Could use a sip of my coffee anyway, clearly. If you're asking me, chickens, I haven't. I've never done Hunter's Rumors, and I don't even know if I have... Well, I guess I technically did when I did the quest, but I just kind of blanked and did like 25 quests within 3 days. So, the way that I got my my crystal armor is not exactly the conventional Iron Man method. I had quit the game. I had nothing to my name. I literally had a completely empty bank right down to the quest items. I even threw those away. Which is why I still don't have all of Graceful again, and have only got a couple of the hoods, I think, now. I think I might have gotten all 3. I don't remember for Elite Void again. I've at least got range. I don't remember if I've got Mage or Melee yet. I think I went back there and farmed something. Maybe I've got 2. Doesn't matter. So when I came back, it was right after Hunter's Rumors came out and all that kind of content came out. And I realized that the Fortis Coliseum, the first round of it was actually pretty easy. If you got through it with consistency at least. And it consistently gave you 1,000 shards, which at the time were 1,200 coins each. And I could do that, like, super fast. I don't remember the exact numbers of, excuse the shit out of me, but did I forget to drink my range potion or something? Am I in the wrong gear? I'm in the wrong gear, that's what's going on here. Okay. So we gotta kind of mulligan this a little bit. There we go. Anyway, I was broke as all hell and realized that I ended up making something in the nature of like 7 to 9 mil an hour while I was doing that content, and I just kept getting better and better at resetting wave 1. So long story short, I made probably 300 mil there before I just kind of got sick of it. And that's why I've got the gear that I've got right now. Otherwise, I'd basically just be running around poor. Not loving that I've taken that much damage, because I'm using the wrong prayer mostly. Ah, I was trying to get both the melees. That's fine. The more of these damned poisoned ones that I can get rid of, the better. Oh, misclicked. No, okay, that's fine. Thought my character was running right into danger there for a split second. Okay, we got 2 of these. That one's sort of within range. I'm gonna have to hit this. Brawler. There we go, and then I can just blow pipe the rest. Okay. So that did not go as well as the last time, clearly, but I can just do this. So, the reason people are telling you to do Slayer is because it's technically more efficient. Training all the melee skills that you're training, but you're also training Slayer. The problem is you've got a bunch of travel time, you gotta decide which way you want to kill each of those monsters. Some of them have different defenses against different stuff, so you might not be leveling the thing that you want to be leveling the way that you want to level it right at that moment. I say play the game however you find it the most fun. If you're having a good time doing whatever you're doing right now, don't let anyone tell you different. Now, having said that, to be honest, you're kind of low level to be efficient with Slayer. So, I subscribe to the whole side of it of, if you can't do a high enough Slayer Master, you probably shouldn't do Slayer. You should just work on getting your combat level up. If you can do something like Konar or Steve/Neve or Duradel, go for it. Otherwise, most people say just continue to grind until you're at those points. Or just do whatever you find fun, honestly. Some of the lower Slayer Masters are fun. Some of the, some people actually enjoy Wilderness Slayer. I'm not one of those people, but some people do. It's pretty good money for mains that are starting out, you know. I'm gonna run around to here, because I'm afraid that it's gonna... Okay, I thought it was gonna do the shadow attack on me. There it is. Come on. There's a good hit. One more. Perfect. That should be safe. Alright. Bubba's already going better than the last time. Whoopsie daisy. So there's certain Slayer tasks, chickens, that, like... Let me put it this way. There's ways that you can set up a block list for Slayer XP. There's ways that you can set up a block list for just generating money and income. As an Iron Man, I have no idea what you should do, because frankly I've never played one for even probably as long as you have at this point. You're pretty much as far into an Iron Man profile as I've ever played. Mostly because I just didn't want to have to start spending money on bonds. I don't even know what I would suggest to you. I think probably for the resources you could get from it, I would do Wilderness Slayer if you can tolerate it. But if you don't want to deal with PKers and losing all your shit every time that you die, maybe just learn how to task skip and try to do a lot of like cal fights and really anything with 0 or low defense, I guess, because you're not using a cannon, are you? One thing that will make it a lot faster, depending on what tasks you get, if you can level up your magic enough that you can use barrage spells or burst spells so that you can AoE farm certain tasks, that's probably going to be a huge time increase for you. I don't remember the exact breakpoints for it, but you'll also have to do whatever quest unlocks ancient magics. It's Desert Treasure 1, I want to say. Alright, well, that is the most supplies I think I've ever used on Baba and the Monkey Room. We're gonna go into Kephri, and in the back of my head I'm just thinking to myself, I really hope we get a lot of salt. Like, I hope this is a 2 salt raid. So we're already getting a little bit low on supplies. That's fine. I mean, the last time I'd completely written the raid off, and we got through that without problems, so... I'll just quit my bitching. By the way, I have absolutely no idea how the whole fans, fame, hype, YouTube situation goes. I have no idea when they updated that, so... Apparently you can compete with each other by typing in chats now and seeing who's typed the most in that stream or who's been the most active. And currently you're in second, chickens. It seems to reset every stream though. I have no idea if there's anything you can use it for. I guess I, as the streamer, could use it to like reward active chatters or something, but I feel like in a larger stream that's just going to reward spam. I don't know. Either way, BGS. Ooh, 58. I'm not even going to go for the second one. I'll just take that. Hot damn. A 58 BGS spec on Kephri. That's practically unheard of. That's going to be like a world record speedrun Kephri. For me, at least. Also means I've got lots of spec energy right now, so I might as well just dump 2 into him. How you doing, Wolf? Not only am I live, I'm soloing expert level Tombs of Amascut, which is kind of strange to see. Chickens, I would have sympathy for you, but I'm at level 98 of 99 on range. Or on defense, sorry. And it's probably taken me like 6 months to go from 97 to 98 in the amount of time that I play this. So an hour sounds like a grand old time. That sounds like a yeah, give me that. I'll trade. What have you been up to, Wolf? Oh, I'm gonna get hit. No, I'm not. Never mind. One tick early. But yeah, no, I've been just kind of streaming a little bit on YouTube and kind of gauging the interest in fairness, this is kind of repetitive content, but I guess in Toa YouTube streams. Maxing grind, to be honest, just slow going. How many more levels do you even need on your Iron Man? I thought you were pretty close. That was a while ago. Don't tell me I'm catching up to you or something. I actually did a little rune crafting the other day. I'm only one skill off from Heaven base 80s. It'd be base 90s, but screw rune crafting and Hunter. Give me a second here and I'll show you how the stats are looking on this one. There we go. Oop. So I got a couple of the 99s since the last time you saw me. I've only got one more melee to go. I'm above base 90s. Yeah, I got a couple dragging down that base. I guess I might as well use a prey pot, right? Try and get it to crap right now. Perfect. I don't have to worry about the double. Sorry, I learned that when Gemflex changed to the Karis, the Karis is OP on the spawn scarabs. I mean, like, use the Karis Partisan of the Sun against the, like, the melee and the mage one? Oh, nice, double salt raid. We'll go Krondos then. I guess that's fair. Any and every time I've ever tried to dodge or avoid damage in this room, it's just ended poorly for me, so I just accept it. As long as I don't take it on the way back to the potion here, it's fine. If you're wondering what the hell that was. I know that you can run diagonally, I've even seen you do it, but half the time that I do that I end up taking like 5 hits. Why did I run up to it? Like, it just seems like it's such a jank room that sometimes you just meant to take damage. That's fine with me. As long as I get out of it with over, say, 75 HP and I only have to bring 2 to the tree, I'm fine with that. Nice chickens. What'd you do? Bonk. 14, come on now. We do better than that, can't we? 27, alright. Yeah. Okay, sorry, just looking at something in my inventory, don't mind me. Thinking about how much resources I've got. Thought I saw it use the blood attack. Guess not. Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's fine. I think it might be able to melee me there, so I'm going to take one step back. I was hoping it would break on the first rock, not the second one, but that's an option. Yeah, as I was just saying a few minutes before you came, actually, Wolf, I have no idea when they added that feature in, but apparently the more you type in a chat, the more, like, high of a ranked fan you become, but it resets every stream, so... And as far as I've seen, I have no, like, banked knowledge of who's been a top fan, like, over a period of time. Maybe there's a way to see that, but I haven't found it, let's put it that way. Oh, it's your Krondus tile. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to step on your tile in my raid. How dirty and dastardly of a thing for me to have done. Did I just see things? Did it not just do the magic attack? Oh, no, there it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, Krondus, don't be doing this to me. Don't, no, no, just no, okay? I'm walking poorly. Alright, I'm having a moment, just... Let me just have my moment. I'm having a senior's moment here. Just don't mind me. Alright. Well, if you've been here 6 minutes and you've already made it weird. And that's not even a land speed record for you, even close to. And again, I can't really say anything, but we're not going to go there today. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put on a one-handed weapon so I have some inventory space. Well, weirder or faster. One or the other. I don't think I've ever seen a puzzle solve that wants me to break 3 barriers. Interesting. And I thought that was going to be a one tick. Never mind. Okay. I feel like if I just mine through the... Okay. It's fine. Jesus. No, cork. Also, I have no idea if any of the bot commands work. If someone wants to try quap, go ahead. 0 promises on that one. I'm gonna wait for a sec, because this is gonna be a bit of a long run. There we go. I know you don't necessarily have to do this anymore, but it just feels wrong not to. Okay, well, that felt wrong. Is this going to be a 2-down because I just screwed that up that badly? Oh, come on. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. You know what's really bizarre? That stream the other day that I was telling you about, Wolf, that for some, I have no idea why, but for some unknown reason, one of the stream VODs from a recent stream got 400 views over 3 hours in the middle of the day. I made like a solid $1.50 from that, so if I just did that every day, I could basically just play this account to bond this account as long as I stream, right? New best passive bond maker, right? Anyway. Enough messing around, let's see how we do. I mean, that's literally nothing, but at the same time, it'd just be kind of funny to have, like, a series where I have to play the account to play the account, and I can only... Oh god, I've just thought of the worst series ever. Okay, so I play an account that I have to start as a free-to-play, and I have to, you know, make content out of it and stream it, and whatever amount of money the account makes, that's how much I can spend on bonds. Excuse me. And I have to do that to keep it subbed, but if it ends up, like, going crazy, I'd end up just having to buy, like, thousands of dollars worth of bonds and buy, like, T-bows and shit for it. That'd be hilarious. I'm sure one of the YouTube content creator streamers can probably figure out a way to make that work. Torvesta, you can have that one, but the next one I'm charging you for. Okay, are we seriously gonna miss twice in a row here? Are we gonna fail the DPS check? No, we're going to the center. Yellow, white, red, white, red. Alright, result. Resummon. I realize it's summoning a range one against Akka, but 2/3 of the time it'll work. 66% of the time, it works 100% of the time. So we got yellow, black, red, white, yellow. Nice and easy. Hey Wolf, remember how I had, like, horrible luck trying to get the Karis Jewel? Apparently, since I've come back, they've added the... Is it the Jewel of the Corruptor, or is that the red one? What? Oh no, it's the Jewel of Amascut. The new black one? Did I mention to you that I got 3 of those within 20 kills? 2 of them literally back to back. So from this point on Akka, I'm actually going to be kind of locked into not screwing anything up, because I got to make sure I don't lose any HP. Or, like, do this wrong, so bear with me. I'll answer that question in a sec if Wolf doesn't do it for me. Oh, please. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay, well, that was one game tick from me losing my mind. And the run. Looks like Wolf's already got you covered. Almost lost the DPS race there. And that's why I love the Karis. So we have white, yellow, white, red, black. And man, they made Akka actually, like, so much better. I used to get so mad at Akka. Sounds good, Wolf. This is 4 out of 4, so shouldn't be too long. I used to get so just absolutely angry at trying to deal with Akka. But having reduced this, I think, by 33% of the number of these You know, if I call them snowballs, then I think it still is in the spirit of what you and I are both familiar with calling this phase that I don't particularly want to call it on a monetized YouTube channel. I feel like the snowball phase both describes what's happening and adds like a little bit of a secret innuendo. So that's what I'm going to be calling that from now on. Alright, sorry, reading the chat. Can you explain the thralls for akka? I heard you need to use different ones at different times. I say screw it and just go range the entire time. It works 2/3 of the time. I'll think about it, Wolf. I won't do it on stream, but I would do it in Discord, sure. Nice, we got the double. Okay. This just became an absolute cakewalk raid. And watch me fail it because I said that. But still, this should be just like raid completed already at this point, basically. So I no longer need to use my Osmo. Oh, Wolf, here's a question for you. Let's say I'm in a situation with this particular inventory, and I'm at the end. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. I'm at the end of the situation here. What is the best weapon that I've got in my inventory right now to whack the Warden's core? Because I feel like it's just to whack it with the DDS while I'm generating spec. But I'm not actually 100% on that. So, like, there's what I've got. Okay, that'll survive. But yeah, no, thank you, Ton, for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the content. More DDS spec into Karis wax. Okay, so it's Karis wax. I never think to use the Karis. Interesting. The Karis partisan of the sun. In my case. It's the thing that I'm using to use a spec that heals me to basically full HP now and then. This, however, is an ambrosia. That's something else, but... this is just a calculated thing so that I can... Fang is too slow on a 5-tick. See, I was just using the DDS. And as long as I don't screw anything up, I can consistently 2-down with this, for the record. But, famous last words. Let's see how this goes. So we actually got out of part 1 faster than what I've done the last couple of runs. I've had some incidents. Please. Okay, where am I going? You know what? I'm not saying a damn thing. That worked out better than it ever possibly could have. Thunderskulls usually panic me. I panic ran. The panic run saved me. We're just gonna call that a calculated moment. Or at least I sure as hell am. Okay, this is a 2-down. 100%. So we do 5 DDS specs, and the Bandos God Sword whack. Don't get goofballed. Halfway to your attack level already? Nice. That's exciting. Don't get goofballed. And yes, I'm still calling it that. Shit, where's my dagger? Dagger, blue pot. Okay, I'm a little slow on that, but I'm still okay because I only need 9 heads here. Wait, the last down gives you points. I didn't know that. Okay, shit, why not? I can do that. What am I at? 14-2 right now. I mean, it really isn't like I'm low on supplies at this point. Oh. Uh-oh. See, you might notice that I've gotten a lot better at Thunder Skulls since the last time you probably saw me raiding. Instead of just running around screaming, I'm most of the time actually avoiding that damage. So wait, should I leave it with as much health as I can for the third down, or do I just get points for going into the third down? So like, I should have stopped attacking way earlier, basically. Right? Because now I'm getting points for this. Is that more or less what you're saying, strategy-wise? Okay, well the core just put me up by 800 points when I whacked it there, so it definitely does. I just DDS'd. Why did I just do that? I thought I'd switch to the BTS. Okay, take two. First one, missed. Second one, 48. Going for a third because I'm a greedy sumbitch. Oh no, I'm not, because that 22 ain't gonna do it. Never mind. So I'm a little confused, Wolf. You're saying that, like, you get points up to the third down for the damage that you're dealing when you have to deal with, like, the yellow HP bar? Like, is that where you're saying I'm generating points? Because I'm not sure. I would have to go back through the VOD. Thankfully we can, because YouTube's player is so much better than Twitch's. I don't have a throw. But I didn't think that was the case. Core is 0 points you're gaining while hitting Warden standing for 3 downs. I definitely gain... Okay, so if you are not on mobile and it's not a pain in the ass, rewind the stream and double check that, because I'm pretty sure that when I was just DDS smacking the Warden's core at the very end, that was what was giving me shit tons of points. That was what put me from like 14.2 to like 14.9. I'm not confident whether or not it was giving me points before that. So it's possible that they may have changed it to just give you points from the Warden's core. I'll have to go back through the stream and watch it to know for certain, but if what you're saying is true, then a 3 down makes more sense. Yeah, let me just go ahead and click off onto the other monitor now. Do that right this instant. But yeah, no, I'll take a look at it before tomorrow. Let's put it that way. It's not going anywhere. I don't know why I forgot about the scarabs. I like using them so damn much. I forget about them half the time. I know they're better in a party because they kind of do an AoE onto other people, but I just like saving them for the last phase, because if you don't have to worry about your prayer at all, it just kind of feels better. I'm actually a little dry on purples. I'm like almost 30 or so raids, maybe 35 raids in without a purple. I can't remember exactly. I reset my loot tracker and I hadn't had a purple in about 10 raids by then, and the previous 2 were both rings. And that used to be a lot worse, don't get me wrong, like, that shit's like 5 mil right now. 4.5, something like that, instead of being 1, or... I don't know if they ever went under a mil. I remember like a year ago, though, they were about a mil. So, I'm glad to see them at like 5, but I'll be a lot happier to see 900. Either way, 5 minutes and we should know. It was never a couple bill. It only ever was up, I think, shit, what did it top out at? Like 100, like 1.1, 1.2? It's still 900 mil, man. Because the price of everything has gone so far down. I would actually argue that 900 mil has more buying power right now than 1.1 bill did then. Like, Torva alone has dropped by that much. And you know full and damn well it'd be the first thing I'd buy. Alright, I gotta lock in here. We're into the last phase almost. I'm gonna go for 2 BGS specs in my crystal armor because screw it. I'm not clicking that many times. Okay, we got a miss, I think. And a 49. Not bad. Actually, almost perfect. And white pot. Just not even gonna bother trying to avoid that damage because I knew I was gonna ambrosia. So I like to do the old 1, 2, 3 click. Shit. %, should be fine. Can we... There we go. I was gonna say. Yeah, I remember doing melee zebak. That was interesting. I remember you being the only one that missed melee zebak. Another non-purple. So, while I've had the tracker going, we're 28 raids drive a purple, hitting around a 5% chance. And 628k. Oh, you died, that's what it was. I remember you didn't get the achievement, but I didn't remember why. So, you may recall that I used to run just under 300s, and because of that, I wasn't really thinking about it, but whoops, I've only run 23 expert mode runs so far. Someone tell Rayleigh to click the live button, because they just said good luck while I'm standing out here in the middle of the raid lobby. Anyway, because of that, you probably already figured that I haven't really done a whole lot of the combat tasks associated with expert mode. So randomly yesterday's stream, I apparently did perfect Krondus. So, alright, number 5. Getting those Grandmaster tasks done by accident one at a time. I did like a couple of Araxor kills and accidentally did Swimming in Venom. I have no idea how. I don't think I knew how to do the boss, to be honest, because how the hell did I kill it without it ever moving? You're supposed to avoid the poison. I think I just stood in it. Alright, Rayleigh, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat, and maybe see you next time. There's a Discord in the description if you happen to want to join the community outside of the stream, or if you're already part of it, then, well, ignore me. Anyway, as far as this goes, I gotta sort this up to here, this goes here, and that's right. Okay. Sounds good, Wolf. I think I've got probably one more raid in me, maybe 2. So I'm gonna set up my supplies, take a real quick piss break. Stretch my shoulders here. Running an iron 280, scuffed his toe. Yeah, no, I fully agree. Had any luck so far? We're just checking a Discord message in the background here. Yeah, I don't even really care what purple it is at this point. I just kind of want to get one. Like I was about 10 raids dry before I reset my tracker, and that's at 29, so I'm almost 40 raids dry on a purple on a between 4 and 5% chance. That's not super dry, but it's like, eh. Cork, you can do 350 for the backpack kit. Without insanity on, can you now? I wouldn't have thought of doing that. Yeah, I can do insanity, I just don't like insanity. So I have the backpack, let's just say that. It probably took 2 or 3 years off of my life, but I have the backpack. Like, here's my sea log. I got the Missouri crafting kit. I got goddamn 3 of these. It's too much. It really is. It's just too stressful. Like, it's unnecessarily stressful for 50 points. You know what I'm gonna do if I want 50 more points? You watch this. You want me to add 50 points to the raid? I'll add 50 points to the raid right now. Hardcore run instead of softcore run. Pathfinder. 365. Done. No insanity. No need. But I said I would run 315s until I get a purple, so we're gonna just keep that on. And I would run hardcore run, but at the same time, it's saved 2 raids so far, so the amount of time that it's saved me is, you know, it's technically a net gain, I would say. But yeah, no, I'm gonna take a quick piss break, refill the water glass, separate room from doing those 2 things, not 2 related activities, and then head back to here and run another raid. See you in a minute. Alright. Softcore walk for it is how I run my 410s, to be honest. What do you run, if you're still here, what do you run differently than I do for a 410? Like, what the hell are you doing that I'm not? Because, like, insanity, obviously. Boulder dash is off, keep back, double trouble. Are you running some of that BS? I hate anything more with Kephri, so that's gonna, eh. Reasonably, I could do dehydration, but then I don't have access to ambrosia, and that just... I could, but I don't really feel like it's gonna be 100% clear rate, let's put it that way. Quiet prayers... What does that do? Oh, no. So yeah, probably you're doing like Pathfinder or Pathmaster or something like that, I would guess. Either way, I'm gonna run this 315 until either I run out of bond on this profile, or account rather, or run out of patience for it, or get a shadow. Whatever comes first, I guess. Then again, in fairness, that super chat was more than the value of a bond, so I guess I don't really have an excuse not to play the character now, right? Anyway, back to the monkey room. If we're gonna mess up a room, it's probably gonna be the monkey room. But I feel like I've been having pretty good luck lately. Okay, we got through that really good and quick. The exploder is stuck on the other side of the wall, which is sort of convenient if I wanted to use it for something, but now it's going to blow up over there. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay. Wait, did it? No? Okay, I guess I don't need to repair anything right now. Okay, that's problematic. There we go. Oh, Jesus, okay. Yeah, didn't get out of that in time. There's too much going on. Okay, sweet, that got the ranged one. Wasn't sure if it was going to or not. Oh, Jesus, I didn't realize I had 3 summoners on me. That is incredibly bad. Well, we're going to be sitting here shooting these for a minute, but I think that was the last wave. If we had got a little bit better luck and or skill with the exploders, then this would have gone better, but honestly, I can't complain about that. I've done a lot worse. And 71 HP is more than enough to start Baba. A couple of BGS specs, and then worry about a Kara spec later on if I have to. Alright, nothing. Twice. God damn it. It's always disappointing when you miss a double BGS. Jesus Christ, that yellow click could have killed me. Can we please just get it to 66? I'm just risking it. Really hoping we'd be able to do a little more damage there. Alright, we got a couple good hits at the end. I'll take it. Nice. I landed the hit, but it rolled a 1. Okay. 43 right after. Good enough. Probably gonna need to use 1 dose of potion. It's your last raid? Either last or second last. We'll see how it goes. Really depends on whether I even finish the raid. I mean, I could still die. And fail the raid or something, or... I don't know. Die at Kephri over and over again or something. There, that was a little annoying. Alright, place your bets now. Is the BGS spec going to land? Because I'm throwing 2 of them. I'm thinking we're running 0-0 this time since we landed, what, like a 50 or something on Kephri the last time? We're at 52. Just about a max hit for a Kephri BGS. You'll hit a 1342. That'd be nice. I sure hope you're right. Well, so far I've got a 0. And a okay, well, you were right about the 42, which is kind of more important. A little bit weird that you guessed the 42, but shit, I'll take it. You'll love it when Jagex is listening. What did I win? You won the ability to watch me hit another 42, and that was it. I hope you enjoyed your prize. Oh, the odds on this, Kephri. So, Wolf said that Karis is the way to go against these guys. And, goddamn, he's completely right. If I could find the right item in my inventory to be able to switch to this, we'd be all set. Okay. Yeah, I didn't really think of it being a faster attack speed, but that's surely a way to go. I think technically it does take a little bit of my prayer when it kills one of them, though. But not really a big deal. Kinda makes me wonder if I should just be using this to fight Kephri. Nah, I missed. I think there is one, is it the blue one? That's good to use against Kephri, but I'm not wasting an inventory slot on something that's about as good as the Fang. Probably not even as good. It's probably one of those situations where you use that if you've had bad luck and gotten the jewel before you got the Fang. If you're an Iron Man. That's what I expect, at least. There's some sort of like a 1 in 32 or 1 in 64 chance or something of hitting really hard. Like getting under the carapace and getting a crit. Can't remember exactly. Fang better than all Karis at Kephri. Black gem versus spawns, really? I can't imagine it's actually worth bringing, though. Whoops. Okay, well, that just hit 0, so that's no longer as good as the... Wait, 0's move it? Huh, that's new. God damn it. Alright, so I'm thinking I Fang the Mage Beetle, and then use this on the melee. I think that's probably the way to go here. Uh-oh. Just kind of messing around with that after Wolf had pointed out the partisan. The only thing I ever use this for is the spec, so it feels really weird to be attacking with it. Yeah, anyway, if you're hopeful that I'm actually going to finish this raid, you got nothing to do, then see you in about 25 minutes when we get a purple. What do you think, chat? Should I do like a 100 mil split to somebody in the chat? Whoever the top chatter is. Oh, I just had a horrible idea. Whoever the top chatter is, if I get a staff, whoever is number one at that particular time gets a 100 mil split of it. Good idea or bad idea? I mean, that really promotes way too much spam, but at the same time, we've gone 3 entire streams without getting a purple, so it's kind of hard to say. Oh, there's the one I was looking for. Just gonna laser him with all 4 of these. Is this even worth using? Fine. I'll do this just to summon an extra one. Get this done a little faster. Really? Who gave the dung beetle diarrhea? There we go. Did your fire cape on? Oh, it's good luck to kill Kephri with the wrong gear on. Don't you know? See, look at that. Good luck. Oh, you got 60 attack. Nice. That's actually a really big milestone. I didn't know that was what you were going for. Nice one, chickens. Sounds good, chicken. Stream will probably end up getting left up unless something horrible happens. So you can always check back later. Should kill it. Yep, 19. Nice. Okay, why does it always hit me there? Realistically, I think I was fast enough to where I could have just completely skipped fighting that crocodile entirely. Rushed for this, and if I had gotten the timing on the trap on the way back right, then this would be 100%. Did that just say 57.5 from one... Did they make it so it gives you more than 50% per... I might have just had a stroke. Never mind. We're just... I'll look back on the stream vote on that one. I just did a 73 and it's not even my max hit. I'm just gonna go ahead and start shooting you with the Bofa. Oh. Okay, perfect. I thought it was just about to do the solve right when those things spawn, so that's a lot less frustrating because they're pretty much done. Oh, whoops. Thought it was praying range. Whatever. We skipped the blood magic attack, so that kind of offsets my screw up a little bit, right? Either way, we've got loads of I keep wanting to call it mana every goddamn time. I've played this game for years and I still can't remember its prayer. Still got loads of it left, though. So I might just carry a spec at this point. And again, 57 HP, it might be better to wait. Make sure nothing's gonna hit me on the next solve or something. No, we got a beautiful one right here. Except for some reason my character auto-paths through things. Okay, that's great. At least I've still got 55 second of poison immunity. Didn't realize the extended anti-poison, or anti-venom rather, that I used lasted that long, but fair enough. I'm just kind of not willing to take a chance on this, so I'm just going to go ahead and carry a spec right now. Literally on the same tick that these assholes decide to spawn. Okay, that's a bit problematic. I'm gonna stand here and wait for a sec, and then come back. Alright, nice. They spawned on the far side. I never know how to predict the blood attacks. So, if you're talking about like the blood barrage where it heals itself, if you look at the crocodile itself, it has like a little bit of like a bunch of like vertical red lines around it, like a little animation. If it does that, you're about to get hit by the blood attack. And I think that animation also has a little bit of a sound that plays with it. As far as when it's going to hit you, it's about 1 game tick after the animation. So if you see the animation, then it might be 2 game ticks, I'm honestly not sure. But if you see the animation, then you just barely have enough time to switch over to Prey Mage, usually. But if you've already got a range attack that's like coming at you, it can be a little bit difficult because you've only usually got 1 game tick interval to try and not screw it up. Now, depending on what invocation you're on and what raid level you're, or what boss level the crocodile is, it is possible for it to be impossible to dodge the blood barrage and the prey attack. But at this particular invocation, in this particular raid, it never gets above a level 2, so I don't have to worry about that. I think that might be level 3 or 4 that becomes a bit of a problem. I'm not sure which. There it is. Sorry, I need my inventory a little less broken than that. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not the best at explaining that one, but thankfully if you go back in the stream and sort of watch during the fight when it does the blood barrage attacks, if you look at the crocodile itself, it gets like a little red animation on it, and you can probably hear the little sound. Or if you just see me obviously just turn on mage randomly and then back to range, then that's probably why. Anyway, I probably have better DPS with melee, but... okay, no, we're gonna get bad luck. I gotta remember that this is a level 4. Level 4, sorry, a level 2. Not a level 2, Jesus Christ. I might have actually had brain damage on that one. This is not a level 2 akka. which means that it's only going to do 4 attacks in the center, is what I tried to say. Failed miserably, but by God I tried. So we got yellow, black, red, black. I'm not sure if it was you who was asking this or not, but someone was asking a little bit earlier how to know what thralls to use and when. Akka always switches in the same order of prey melee, then prey range, then prey mage. So, I guess technically, when it's on prey mage, you want to be summoning the ranged thrall. If it's on prey melee, you want to be summoning the mage thrall, like the furthest one away from it, basically. And if it's on range, you could summon the mage thrall or the melee thrall. You could do all that BS. I gotta be perfectly honest with you, I just don't even worry about it. And I just summon a ranged thrall, and it works 2/3 of the time. It's good enough. I don't have to, it's one less thing to worry about in this annoying boss fight, you know? I will say it's a much less annoying boss fight, but I still don't love getting hit through prayers. Like, if I'm doing it right, why punish me? Nice. So we got yellow, black, yellow, black. So at this info, my general strategy with Akka so far, at least, in the last maybe 5 or 6 runs, has been to try to prolong my Karis use as much as possible, and if I don't really make any major mistakes, then the chip damage tends to... oh, that's annoying. There we go. The chip damage tends to mean that I end up having to Karis spec during the last 20%. Sometimes 40% if I've gotten bad hits. So we got black, red, black, red. And we're into the last 20% here. I'm gonna resummon this guy. So the closer to the final phase that I can be when I use the Karis spec, the better, because having more HP there is obviously a good idea, just in case you have any incident, which we don't talk about those, but we do have those from time to time. Now, the melee attacks are going to hit the hardest through prayer. I seem to be having a lot of accuracy issues, though. Looks like we might be playing another center game here if it goes range again. I'm just going to do it now. Yep. Yellow, white, yellow, black. So that's actually fortuitous, believe it or not, because now I don't have to swap back into melee gear to deal with this final phase BS. If I could deal just any damage, thank you. Next up is Wardens, so I don't really need to worry about supplies outside of the actual, like, supply cost. Is that gonna dodge that? That's not. Okay. Damn it. It's not a lot of... Well, we got 2 scarabs. Okay, that's fine. Alright, a 74, and now we know what our max hit is. And I'm just going to do another one because I can. So we're moving at about 70 HP right now. Alright, that's the first time I've max hit with the BGS on this thing. I've actually really been wondering what my max hit is. The consideration here, though, is that what do I want to use to heal? Because I could definitely just Kara-spec this. But then it's going to be a 3 down. But as Wolf pointed out, 3 down's kind of better. Okay, that's unfortunate, because I think that's just going to come out of there one way or another. Okay, never mind. I didn't know whether or not it was going to do both of the little satellite attack things. That should be here, prey range. And we're good. Okay. Being a little more aggressive with the switches this time. Nice. Okay, we could do a 2 down if we want to. So I'm at 13, 8, 11. I actually want to really check something when it comes to points. I think I'm just going to yellow pot through this. Uh-oh. Not certain if that's going to get to me here. Yeah, we're good. Oops. Okay, so that's going to cost me a full attack. 4. 5. So Wolf was definitely right that this isn't giving me any XP. Or any points, so I should do a 3 down, basically. That's what I'm understanding out of this. Yeah, so I am definitely getting XP right now. I keep calling it XP, but I mean points. So okay, we won't intentionally do a 2 down then. Should do a 10 down, and now only the first 3 downs give you XP, so if it goes up anymore, it won't continue to give me points. That's the maximum amount of points I can effectively get from it. So I need one of these, I want that, Equip this, drink that. Okay. We're all set for the BGS. To miss. Okay, 48's good. I think maximum reduction might be like 40 or 50 or something here, I can't remember. Alright, that'll do that. For a skill skip. Yeah, sorry, I might have been a little distracted there. So, the first time you attack it with mage, the second time with range, and then the third time with mage. And while you're dealing damage to the warden and not the core itself, during those 3 first, instances of that happening, it gives you points. Anything after that no longer gives you points, to the best of my knowledge. But I misunderstood and for some reason thought it was only the first 2. So I've been intentionally trying to do a 2-down, which... we'll see how many points I get. If I don't die at the end of this raid, then we'll have a fair comparison. I think we're talking like a difference of like 0.1% maybe of a purple chance. But I mean, shit, I'll take what I can get. I really shouldn't have drunk that, but that's fine. I meant to do that after summoning a thrall, but we're not that stretched on resources this time. I have 2 ambrosias left. Lots and lots and lots of those prayer scarabs. Should be fine to just leave DPS prayers on at this point. Actually, I only have 3 doses of that. I might take DPS prayers off for this. Just at least until the next phase, because I mean, the BGS wax, we're being real accurate here even without it, so it's not super important. I don't know, I get panicked, alright? I know I've got 4 scarabs, but imagine running out of prayer in the last phase and dying to an avoidable, thing that you could be praying against. That'd be devastating. I've never had that happen, and I'm really trying my damnedest to make sure it stays that way. But screw it, you only live once. Let's resalt. Five seconds on the thrall, so might as well. I guess realistically, if I was that panicked about speed and getting through this with the amount of prayer that I've got left, etc., and didn't want to lazy flick it, I shouldn't be skull skipping. But I really do want to see if I can get over a 5% chance with a 3-down. It's got me kind of curious. Okay, so I dodged 2 this time. 1... 2. So currently we have 4 scarabs, 1 dose of Howard Stern's penis, and 2 white potions. And that's it for... once that's gone, prayer is gone. That should be lots. Okay, that was a 45, and to hell with it, we'll just go for it. There's one more. Didn't see what it was, but it did give me an XP drop, so it was something. Okay, we need this and a white potion. Jesus, that was a little close. Really shouldn't have just stood there. $36.09. And that brings us to a 4.96. Interesting. Nah, it was fine. I had my finger over the trigger. But no, I agree, it probably was. Oh good, I got another duplicate Breach of the Scarab. And 400k. Be nice if you could use your duplicate gems for something like sacrifice them for another roll on the purple table or something. Oh, they're not all called jewels, never mind. Thought they would have been. The hell is the red one called? Let's get a duplicate of it today as well, Corruptor. There we go. My Jewels of Amascut. Thanks for stopping by, Jonathan. See you next time. Yeah, I don't know. I think that might be it for me. Thinking about it. I'm having fun, but I don't want to overdo trying to farm this content and end up hating it. Didn't get any new collection logs, but we are up to 24 completions there, and I am now 40 raids without a purple. So maybe next time. Or maybe not. Time will tell.